Okay, so we are here today to roast your anime hot takes. We've gathered a variety of takes from all across the sphere of our, audience. We also have a guest here today, the Master Man. Shout out to him for coming on. We've already been yapping for an hour, so if it seems like, it's not like we just got here. It's been a while.
It's because we did not just get here. Why did we not just get here? Tap into the streams to find out.
Okay, so first hot take from our very own Ichiban. The idea of behind the Dragon Ball series in this day and age is boring.
Oh my god.
I don't like this take. I don't like this take because the day and age now and back then, like you can get away with a lot much back then, I would say. Compared like just the way of telling a story is different. So I'm not really I don't like that take.
I can't even agree with that.
I don't like that take.
Because 2 years ago, Demon Slayer was the biggest thing in the world with essentially like very similar story structure. And like, if you want to talk about simplified character motivations and whatnot, it's the same. Kagurabachi is like the biggest thing in Shonen manga, in Shonen Jump manga right now, with very, traditional character motivations, setup, payoff, and like story structure in terms of conflict. In this day and age, Dragon Ball still works. Its premise still works. Like, its characters still work. Its writing still works. It's not boring. People want it.
I think it's just such a weird take because, like, everything that exists nowadays has been so influenced by Dragon Ball, So that's like saying, like, oh, fucking Lord of the Rings, if it came out today, wouldn't be successful. And it's like, but everything that has come out in the fantasy genre has been the way that it is and has evolved the way that it has because of, that's like taking out the foundation of a house and being like, yeah, well, if you add the foundation to the house now, it won't work. Yeah, well, no fucking shit. Like, you have to,
exactly.
But even then, like the concept of what makes Dragon Ball works and what makes it interesting, nothing, we could say what we want in terms of the story and the premise of the story. Nothing visually looks like Dragon Ball. There's a style to it that appeals, So it's just an interesting. It's like, how the hell could you even tell that? How can you quantify that? Yeah, and it's like Dragon Ball's boring, and it's like every Hispanic ever would disagree with you. So like,
he is Hispanic. That's what's funny. He's actually Hispanic.
He is Hispanic.
It's like saying like Star Wars.
He's a hypocrite.
Wouldn't work nowadays. But like Star Wars was inspired.
That's what I'm saying. If you take out the Star Wars,
came out and Dune is big as shit.
Nothing else.
So it's like
nothing, because theoretically, and I don't know if he means it like this. I'm looking at this as like, if we're talking about, you take Jordan out of the 90s, what does he do? Or out the 80s, what does he do? You take Dragon Ball out of like coming out in whenever it did, 84, 87, something like that.
Around the 80s, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Are you saying that those tropes still, like the not war arc, but the tournament arc still gets popularized? Shonen Jump still sells 2 million copies a week without Dragon Ball? Like, or are you just saying that like something fills its place, and then like that Dragon Ball, the way it's written, the way it's paneled, the way it's drawn, the way it structures still comes out today, and then it's boring. That also matters.
I mean, to be fair, I want to try and play devil's advocate here.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's saying the idea behind it is boring because it's like, okay, cool. Dragon Ball is popular as shit. A lot of people like Dragon Ball, but there still are a lot of people modern that hate on Dragon Ball for its writing and its simplicity in certain areas. So but if it came out, obviously there will still be people that love it, but he's saying like the idea will be like a Demon Slayer situation. They will get a lot of flag for the things that it does. I think that's what he's trying to say. Well, I don't agree, but like, I'm just here to play devil's advocate.
I think it's still tricky though, because considering the fact that so many people and popularity doesn't indicate that something is good or not, but it's clearly entertaining to someone. Like I have people who say like, they'll be like, oh, well, football's boring. And it's like, oh, well, boohoo, 1 billion people watch it every World Cup, bitch. Like, so it's clearly not boring to like a large chunk of people. But it's weird because like the idea behind the Dragon Ball series, what the fuck, like, how, like, where do we even start? Like the idea of this guy being a martial artist who then turns out to be from an alien race of warriors there's just so much to Dragon Ball in its world building. You know, are you talking about the fights? Are you talking about the premise of Goku as a character? Are you talking about the way the other characters are handled? Are you talking about the way that each of the arcs are structured? Are you talking about the progression in Dragon Ball? Are we talking about Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z? Are you including GT and Super? Like, it just, there's so much. It's such a broad question. But the more you think about it, the more like, what the fuck are you on about? I'm thinking, but you know, it's.
Yeah,
you know,
I don't know. I agree because I don't know how you were to quantify if the idea, if Dragon Ball didn't come out when it did and it came out today, I don't know how you quantify it.
What is the idea behind Dragon Ball?
Like, what is the idea? Like, what is that?
He has to be more. He has to be more specific.
An alien with a monkey tail fighting martial
story
arts.
about something like Goku.
I guess.
Yeah, when you think about Dragon Ball, it's crazy. When you think about it, it's crazy. You go through a whole first series of Goku, you know, as a little kid. It's like the simple martial arts thing. And then Dragon Ball Z starts off with his brother showing up, stealing his son. And he's like, oh yeah, by the way, there's like more of us. And we're going to kill all your friends. Which is what happens, like...
In the planet.
And the planet, like, what the hell?
Because I've been seeing people like draft this up like on Twitter, which I find funny. But it's like when they do chapter spoilers, like, they'll be like Dragon Ball spoilers 233 or something, and then they say, "Oh, Goku just turned Super Saiyan." Like, imagine if that was like nowadays.
Oh, dude, that'd be
people,
huge.
Like they're saying chapter. Like,
I mean, you saw how Ultra Instinct was, right? Like,
that's what I'm saying. I feel like, to be fair, it is, they already had like a fan base. But I get what you're saying. It still may be big.
We saw Demon Slayer, Demon Slayer episode 19.
That's what I'm saying. We can look at Demon Slayer. We can look at Kagurabachi. We can look at what's another like action shonen with like
JJK, I guess. Well, JJK is a little more complicated with its plot and all that.
My Hero, maybe.
My Hero, could,
I mean, we can say JJK to the average viewer.
Yeah, because the average viewer, they don't
understand the thing
with the cursed spirits enough in order to quantify that bullshit. So I get, like, you can look at the reactions to those things and be like, oh, you guys, y'all don't care about like the fact that these characters don't have the level of depth or motivation as like FMA characters or the same strategies as Death Note characters. Like, y'all don't care about that in action genre. So to say that the thing that got it started wouldn't work today. I also will like to throw this out there. Imagine like Dragon Ball, it's Namek Saga, Saiyan Saga, so like the best Dragon Ball has to offer with today's modern animation and pacing. Holy shit.
So next thing, Killua as the MC of Hunter x Hunter. Just as like the anime specifically so far will be way more interesting of a story.
Facts.
I saw this. The story, it wouldn't be the same. The story structure would not be.
Facts. This would be a better story.
The story would be completely different. So
it
I don't
would.
know how you.
Yes,
Alex, why? Why?
Because Gon is a boring ass character, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my god,
bro.
Bravo.
Killua character development had better, like a couple episodes of learning about who he is and watching him change. That was probably the best part of the
had
show.
His character arc because of Gon.
So
Killua had an entire arc of him going through self-identity and what he means to Gon and his self-worth in the Hunter world. Like, it works because of his relationship with Gon. The story wouldn't be the same. You wouldn't get that same development, that same character arc without Gon.
You wouldn't have the story progression because Killua is just not like as proactive as a character. And so having him be the vehicle that would lead you through... I hate this fucking light. Having him be the vehicle that gets us through the Hunter x Hunter world.
I'm sorry, this is so out of left field. It was like such a worded way of like going about the take. And you're like, bro, fuck this light in particular. And you just
it's annoying me so much because of these little stupid ass holes. I don't know why blinds are made like this. But anyway, what's it called? It just wouldn't work the same because, like, the way that Hunter x Hunter's world is set up, it's like all these things are in place waiting to be explored, waiting to be delved into to solve either this mystery or to get you from point A to point B. Killua has nowhere to go but fucking home. So, like,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
having
Killua has Alex,
let
me ask you a question. What are Killua's motives? Let's take Gon out of the picture. What does he do? Like, how does he drive the force of the story? Let me know.
We could figure out from that standpoint. He can figure out. Let me get this off first. He can figure out who he is.
I'll let you let.
He can figure out who he is. 2, we can learn more about his backstory and his family. We could probably see him go on assassination missions. That'd be fucking cool as shit. And overall,
you just want to turn it to Naruto.
No, it's just that
that idea, like
the idea of
I
just
don't know
looking for somebody's dad. Really, I could watch fucking Home Alone or something.
That's the
that is insane. That's amazing slander, though.
That's like that's the basis. Like the story is much more than that.
Yeah,
much more than that.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, on a basic premise, I could see how Killua could maybe be more interesting, but I think the way that Gon is able to get us into these scenarios, I don't think Killua would necessarily give the same, like, conducive to the story of Hunter x Hunter. I don't think he would fit as well in that spot just as a character. I think Gon gives other characters room to shine and stuff like that, and like it opens it up more almost. I feel like,
if anything, I think Gon is literally the perfect protagonist for Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah.
Due to his nature and how it parallels like the actual state of the world. Hence why it's like his childlike nature is just like
facts.
I love it. I love Gon.
I don't even like Gon that much, but what were you saying? What were you gonna say before?
Nah, I was just gonna say I think another thing too that I think it's always tricky when you do like this side character should be the main character. Like, you hear that a lot with, for example, Rock Lee and in Naruto. Yeah. The only issue with that is that like the story, especially with like a protagonist and an antagonist, but it always varies on what story you're talking about, are going to drive the central themes.
Yeah. And
the reason side characters work and are able to be super well loved is because they contribute to the theme, or they contribute to a different theme in the story within that role. And if you were to take them out of that role, you risk kind of destroying what makes them interesting. As well as there's some characters that like, how do I want to word this? Like, if I have to write 50 chapters of a story and I only get 5 chapters to make this character effective, that might be a blessing in disguise, because I then don't overexpose that character to the audience. I don't risk the room of adding or convoluting the aspect of it's like lightning in a bottle, and you've got to keep it as lightning in the bottle. And there could be a lot of different examples of that, but it just becomes tricky because then it's like, we like this character and I get wanting to see more of that character, but you definitely risk like just absolutely destroying what makes them interesting. Yeah. The way that their dynamic is in contrast with these other characters, you know, like if you had Naruto and it was just Sasuke and no Naruto, you definitely risk making Sasuke way less interesting because you lose that contrast that makes him stand out within the cast. So I don't know.
Or just the perspective.
Yeah, exactly. I understand the sentiment behind it, but I think it's I don't know. I think it's another one where it's like there's so much to think about. That's kind of hard to like pinpoint where to start.
Okay, it's maybe crazy for me to say, but I feel like it can work with certain series like that take.
It can.
It just depends on the type of structure the story like has.
Yeah. You would have to make like side stories, you know, kind of like what Bleach has with its like light. What is it, like its visual novels or like its side stories or whatever the hell, like the Ulquiorra one. Yeah, that's nice, you know. But like Ulquiorra is my favorite character in Bleach, but I wouldn't go
for that.
You know,
so Bleach with their fucking million fillers.
I'm not gonna lie to you. If we're gonna go down, I'm not gonna lie to you. I have a take that Bleach fans won't agree with. But I stand by it. But I will see how much that take holds up once I end up going like reading.
All right, Kaiju number 8 and Demon Slayer are the same story with different eras.
Oh my goodness!
Not even.
Hell no.
Not even.
I mean, that's in terms of them having like a core to like combat whatever monster.
Then you could say any monster.
You could say any
is the exact same ever. Yeah, that's true. You could literally put every single thing under there: Claymore, AOT. Chainsaw Man, JJK, like you could put them all under the same Bleach. You could literally put every story ever under that same umbrella. But just the motivations of the main characters alone, like, makes it such a different story.
It breaks that.
Yeah, completely.
No, how do you even make a case for saying that Demon Slayer and what do they do that's the same?
It's just slander.
I don't even know what he's talking about.
Besides like the main basis that you can fit.
But that's the thing, it's not slander because he loves both of those series.
He's cliff farming.
How do you even like, what's the point to make that? I'm trying to figure it out.
Bro, hell if I know.
One is mid.
He wants this to be a short.
I'm trying to figure out in my brain, bro. Yo, Ichiban,
cliff farming even when he's not on the pod. Gotta love Ichiban, man.
He's laughing right now.
He is, because
my
that's like, oh yeah, Curry and LeBron, they played in the NBA. They're both the same player. What the fuck? Like what do we?
No, I don't know how you I don't know how you guys feel.
I don't know if that's a good analogy, but like
it's like remember I don't know if you guys remember that Rouge account, the Black Clover account.
Oh yeah.
She said that Dragon Ball and Demon Slayer are the same. I don't know how you come to that conclusion,
bro.
That's just rage bait right there.
Yeah, I'll tell you this right now. I'm in a group chat with like a bunch of like big Instagram accounts.
Yeah.
And those are the boys. Those are my boys and everything. But
yeah.
I know the game, you know? Like I know the game. Trust me. Like when you get someone out there who tweets like, "Oh, Noabara could have been the greatest female character ever."
Oh, I saw that.
You know that they know that that's going to get interactions.
Yeah.
And it like she's not even the best in her series and they know that. So it's like but there's something really interesting about the internet. And I'm sorry, but I'll get this out of the way quickly. But there was someone who said on Reddit, I'll ask a question and then I'll create another account and give myself an incorrect answer. And I've noticed that people respond more when I do that because people care more about correcting someone than helping out.
Yeah.
I bet you switching back to forward accounts.
That's crazy. He's
like, I gotta go back to this account, guys.
That's exactly what it is.
I'm not gonna get into it. I hate getting into them, man.
It's an interesting.
Them Twitter accounts know what they're doing, bro. I promise you. They're all in a group chat being like, I'll tweet this.
No, they actually are.
I got one, guys.
Yeah.
And then they all steal shit from That's literally. I know this because I see this on Instagram, and it's
that's literally what it is.
Give us a week, we'll start.
And then they get somebody, or they sign into the other account, be like, "This you," and it's like the screenshot.
Yeah,
that's quite legit.
Damn, I didn't really think about that. Holy shit,
it's sickening.
Can
I get a take out the way?
Yeah.
Since we here,
all right.
Hold on.
It's just piggyback off what Mar said. I think okay. To be fair, granted, this may be a little. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen 1,000 Year Blood War, so take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. But it's not ready to take. I'll just switch it up. I think Okura is a better antagonist than Aizen.
I'm not mad at that one. I'm not mad at that.
That's not that bad.
I'm not mad at that one, but again, that's like a lightning in the bottle sort of thing. You could argue Ulquiorra. Yeah, because Aizen's like revered and all that, and Aizen has more weight to the actual plot, considering that he like planned everything, right?
Yeah.
So there is that, but you could definitely make the case that Ulquiorra had a much better ending to his conflict than Aizen did. Because like I love everything about Aizen. That last part with how he got beat at that final instance never sits right with me. And I feel like there's aspects to Aizen like planning everything that you kind of have to really suspend your disbelief hard.
It's like Palpatine.
Yeah, but I think they're strong for different reasons. Like I think Aizen just has like obviously this whole thing of how he controls the plot and how he pushes everything forward. But I think like thematically, Ulquiorra's perfect. I love Ulquiorra, so I'm not mad at it. You know, if you would have said Grimjow, then I'd have to be like,
oh no, I would never. Like Grimjow was cool, but
he's cool, but
his backstory, his conclusion in that last fight, I hated it.
Yeah, it felt like it left so much to be desired. Like I don't know. Yeah.
I didn't like
Bren says Bound Arc is actually enjoyable.
Oh my goodness!
Fuck no!
Yikes!
he said that, and I had to give him the pin of shame. This will be making the podcast. I'm screenshotting it right now.
Can we time him out by any chance?
Bound Arc.
Mass, have you seen the anime of Bleach, or have you just read it?
Nah. So like a couple years ago, I tried watching the anime. And I think I'm like 10 episodes in, and I'm not going to lie. I'm like, this is the most boring shit. And this was in the era where I couldn't watch anime. Like just recently I went through all of Gintama, loved it. That video's in the works and all that. But I was in that era where watching anime was just difficult for me, especially older ones, because they milk the fuck out of time.
Yeah, the pacing back then is disgusting.
Yeah. So with Bleach, I always recommend read it. 1,000 Year Blood War, you can watch it. Watch that, and if you want to watch the Ulquiorra fight, go ahead, watch certain things. But no, I don't know what I'm assuming that's a filler arc or something in the Bleach anime.
It is. It's a filler arc.
Very infamous one as well.
And the crazy thing
Astro.
You can sit here and say it's like anime canon, as people like to call it, because later on in the series, Jin Karia, who was the main antagonist for that filler arc, shows back up to help Ichigo train. So
Yeah,
it messes up like the plot or the
continuity
story for like the anime, but not too bad, but it's disgusting either way.
That's how I found out about fillers. I read the manga for Bleach, and then I watched them. Like, this wasn't in the manga.
Yeah, it's not.
I was like, oh, this is what fillers are.
Did I tell y'all the story on how I came across the Bond arc?
No, actually,
so when I first watched Bleach, because Bleach and Soul Eater was the first, like, besides the stuff that was on the TV, Bleach and Soul Eater were the first anime that I went out of my way to like go watch, and I had them on DVD. So I bought the seasons for Bleach, the first few seasons of Soul Society and the first arc.
That's diabolical.
Season 4 and 5, I thought was the Arrancar shit. So I was excited to see Grimjow and all of them show up. So I bought season 4 and 5 on DVD, watched the entire thing, and wanted to end it all.
So you have the Bounce arc memorialized in your DVD room.
I still have it on DVD. Yes,
that's terrible. Man.
It's sickening.
I feel
the perks of physical media. We will never lose
the Anyways, man, moving on to A Take. This is Bren. Vegeta is easily the worst character on any supporting cast in anime.
Souls needs to fire you, nigga. Oh my god. Oh my god. With takes like this. No.
Yeah, no, just because Dragon Ball alone has like Tien and Yamcha and
quite literally.
Yeah, characters that had say what you want about Vegeta. Vegeta at least has something to offer, you know? You could argue it's repetitive, but you could argue that with pretty much any character in Dragon Ball. Vegeta also actually had a pretty good arc, you know, starting off the way that he did and up to this point. You know, when you really look at it, just knowing Vegeta went from this absolute monster murdering the human race to having a family. You know, granted, there could have been more done with that, but even within Dragon Ball, I wouldn't agree with that. Bleach has Chad, so like you can't really, you know, you can't really do that.
No, not
Chad is pretty shit.
Naruto has 10-10, so like
I was just about to say that.
That's crazy. 10-10.
I guess. To be fair, possibly what he's trying to say in less words is that what Vegeta gives is supposed to give to the story. He is such a low point on what he's supposed to give that he's the worst, which is still wrong.
That what was going to be my
question. I think Vegeta is the best character in Dragon Ball. I ain't gonna cut.
I agree, but I'll ask this since y'all just brought up the names that y'all did. When it comes to judging whether a character is good or bad, not all the time, but like just in general conversation, would you include would you weigh a character that like Tintin? Tintin was never supposed to get development.
Yeah,
she was never compared to a character who gets development, but like you just think that they were executed poorly. Do y'all think that that's the same level of quality?
Not so. In all fairness, I just threw that out there because I hate Tenten. Fair. But like when it comes to Sakura is always the easy example to throw out there because she was someone that. The thing is with her character, her whole thing is predicated on her romance with Sasuke, and I don't know if this is a hot take, but it's kind of hard to write a romance when both of the characters involved in the romance barely interact. So, what should be driving her character to move and grow is not there. So you just get these huge gaps in how she, grows and stuff like that. And then when you say, I don't think Sakura was well handled as a character, as she should have been, then you get people calling you sexist. And it's like, no, she just wasn't. What is this shit?
I'll give a more modern example. Nobara is right there. Megumi is right there. I think
whoa.
You are not.
He's right on this one. He's right on this one.
Sit here and gas up Megumi. You're not going to. I'm not allowing it,
bro.
I'm not even a JJK fan or nothing, but Nobara, especially, just a little bit past. What's it called? Like season 1. Mm-hmm. Well, have you seen season 2, TK?
I've read the manga. I've seen both seasons.
I've
read the manga.
Yeah, I think he's caught up.
I dropped it actually during the because of the recent chapter. I said over a year ago. I said me and my friends was in cool. We was joking about. They said,
don't spoil that.
If something happens,
happens. I'm dropping the series, and it happens. So I dropped the series.
But
no cap. There's 4 chapters left.
What else do you expect? What else do you expect from a shonen ending?
No, Gege just hates his manga. That's what it is. Gege just hates his manga.
All they're gonna do is just bring people back for their one last moment.
No, because there's ways to do that. There's ways to bring back.
There are, but that's
this isn't one of them.
Well,
But
I think this is very indicative of Gege's writing.
No, Gege just hates
to be
everybody.
fair,
He just wants to end this.
but
there are a lot of plot points that he ended up that didn't go anywhere. So
I will say though, your point is valid in the sense that, like, you know, Vegeta is a character given so much focus, so it has to be a character of basically a deuteragonist role, right? Who's given that level of attention, who's meant to be. It's typically characters that are given the setup for like to last long and to have this grand character arc that then doesn't really get fleshed out. And I think that often you see that with like comparison to other series. So even then, I wouldn't agree with Vegeta because Zoro exists in One Piece. And
yeah,
No
facts.
Oh no!
I will say this right now. Listen, it's not slander towards Zoro, and I'm not gonna sit here and say that every Straw Hat deserves an arc. But since Thriller Bark, Zoro was having ties to Wano. Since Thriller Bark, he was then connecting with the people of Wano and said to Ryuma, "I'm going to go to your grave." It went nowhere.
Yeah,
it went in the land of samurai. It went nowhere. I'm sorry.
It's just very strange with Zoro whenever I talk about the character, because it's like you can't two
Zoro.
things can't be true at the same time. You can't tell me he's complex, and then when I ask you to tell me how, you're like, oh no, he's actually a one-note character, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Then when I point out he's one note, just shut the fuck up. Like, I like Zoro. He's my favorite member outside of, you know, Sanji, but like I like them both a lot. Usopp's like Zoro, up there too. I love Zoro, but the truth of it is he's a simple character for what he is and in his role, and the story isn't finished, granted. But for as long as the story as it is, I'm just saying, One Piece fans, you got to keep it a buck. If this was any other story going on for 1,000 chapters and hadn't delved into a character like Zoro, you would have been on its ass. So I'm just, you know, throwing it out there. But I still wouldn't. I wouldn't agree with Vegeta. I wouldn't agree with Vegeta.
Vegeta's not.
He just gets his ass beat.
Vegeta's not the example you give.
Yeah.
God, what are you talking about, that, man?
I just want to know how Augie would feel about this.
Augie knows how I feel about this. We've had talks. We've had a lot of talks.
How does he feel about that? Then?
He don't like it, but it's whatever. Like, what is he gonna tell me? Like, what, you know? And here's the thing. This is how it goes, right? You'd say that a character is a bit limited or a bit bland or, you know, a bit one note, and then they bring up a bunch of symbolism, and it's like, my guy, symbolism only goes so far. All right. At a certain point, you have to tell me how this character has grown or changed. And if they are a static character, that's fine. But when Zoro only shows up to put on a do-rag and then beat up a minority and call it a day every arc, you can't sit here and tell me there's something. He's cool. He's cool. He wants to.
There's nothing wrong with being just cool. There's nothing wrong with
that's a trope right there.
You know, I'm just. That's what he does.
It's not wrong.
I've seen the meme where they put the MAGA hat on his do-rag. I've seen it. I didn't make the meme. I've seen it though.
And it's a factual meme because I mean Zoro. That's what he's done.
Zoro, Gato.
It's crazy.
Well,
but I'm trying to think.
The way he reacted to King, I'm just saying,
bro. It was look at the list of his victims. Yeah, there is a pattern. I'm gonna send this to you, River, just so you see that I'm not bullshitting you, bro. It says it right here. Make the Grand Line great again. I'm staring at this shit.
The Grand Line great.
Hold on. I'm finna share. Hold on. Wait,
bro.
And look at the people behind him. This is all the people he's beating the bricks out of. Like, it's just, you know,
like 10 fishmen.
Bro, it's all people with a specific complexion. I'm just saying.
Well, you know.
If you vouch for Zoro, I know where you stand. That's all.
It's funny too because he was darker skinned in pre-time skip, and then he just got lighter over time.
Well, everybody did.
Everyone did. Yeah,
everybody did.
Usopp needs justice. What they did to Usopp is egregious.
Yeah.
What they did to
Did you see how they changed him? They changed Usopp's design in the new
Usopp is actually Usopp is white now.
Wasn't the way they explained it for Nico Robin was just she was like in a winter area for a long time?
Yeah, they tried to make her just like light skin and then have like winter skin, and it's like no.
Listen, bro. I'll say this. If I'm out in the summer and working or like, you know, doing whatever the hell, I tan really well. But when I hardly go outside, you know, the conquistador side of my bloodline kicks in, and I am pale.
It's real. I'm pale. It's real. Don't get me wrong, but like Oda, no cap, I'm not letting y'all make that excuse for Oda. Like, Oda would write, if Oda's as great as y'all say he is, he would write that shit. Like, it's winter, it's time passed.
No, I feel what you're saying. I feel what
He's like, we're not using that excuse for that right now. It's true, but we're not using that excuse.
Yeah. Just to stay on Vegeta, we have another Vegeta take. I figured we just get off real quick. This is from the TSO Sage, who says, if Trunks was named Vegeta, everyone would call him a loser.
What is this?
What? I think it's just because Trunks is just like early Trunks is just Trunks raw, so anything he does afterwards, people don't focus on.
Yeah, I also think it's like I don't think everyone would call him a loser. He would show up and be like, my name is Vegeta, and now it would just get really confusing whenever we have talks about Dragon Ball. It's like, oh, yeah, remember when Vegeta did this? Yeah, well, Vegeta Senior, Vegeta Junior. It's like Trunks, you know?
I think he just means that people give Trunks too much bail for no reason when Vegeta doesn't get the same kind of bail as
it's just an agenda thing.
Yeah,
like, a lot of people throw around the collage of Vegeta's L's, but it's just like Trunks did one good thing in his timeline that made him a little.
And then he has like a
showed up and Frieza went crazy.
Yeah,
and he has better.
I agree.
Any other time,
he has better drip.
I agree. I do think Trunks is pretty overrated. Like I think he's super well loved for like one moment, and that's it. It's fine. It's whatever. I like Trunks and all that. I think it's just like Vegeta's L's are a little more egregious. You know, like he has Cell beat the crying for mercy, and then Cell's like, well, no balls, you won't let me transform. And Vegeta's like, who's got no balls?
As soon as Vegeta points at himself, that's like the equivalent of Renji screaming Rosabimaru. You know he's about to get folded.
Left arm broken.
You know he's about to get folded, bro.
Left arm broken.
It's bad. It's bad. Yeah.
I do think Trunks looks cooler.
Yeah, I do think
he could never be Vegeta.
I do think Trunks get a lot of leeway. Because Super Trunks stinks.
And Rage is terrible. But
yes, I said Trunks has better drip as it eat dick.
He does have better drip.
Y'all are proving my take. How are we proving your take on Vegeta by saying I don't understand? I mean, I get what you're saying, but I also don't get what you're saying.
Him losing fights doesn't make him any worse of a character, by the way.
I don't think he's a bad character.
Oh my gosh.
Trunks' character doesn't come close to what Vegeta is. That's what I'm saying.
All right, we have another take here. We'll pull up. This is from Astro in the chat. Studio Trigger, better animation / art than Ufotable. Was never a fan of Ufotable's compositing, the shiny effects, After Effects look, and their characters often say a bit too model. It's a preference thing, but I love extreme exaggeration like in Trigger style. Not saying Ufotable is bad, just not the biggest fan, and Trigger always has so much character and energy put into the animations. Love how stylized they are.
Fire take. I'm not even mad at that.
I'm not big into the
animation.
I'm not mad at that at all.
I
don't think Ufotable was a top studio. If I'm being honest.
Oh no, I disagray with that. You
can't. I think there are a lot of studios. There are a lot of studios.
Is that Joker in the back?
Talk about it. Someone rubbing the back in the background. I think there's a lot of studios that animates better than Ufotable. Ufotable's fire. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like. I mean, to be fair, it depends on the team and not really the studio. But like, I don't know. I just like the style. I like other studio style over Ufotable.
I mean, I agree with art style, like especially when it comes to that take. Trigger, I agree. The
Alex,
what's it called? The sloppiness that like Trigger can exude, especially in like Gurren Lagann and some of their series that they've done, have been fucking amazing. I love how they do like exaggerated movement, especially in like high stakes and emotional situations. That's the thing that I think that like Ufotable doesn't do very well. They do a lot of spectacle very well, and what Astro's referring to a lot is like the particle effects craze that like a lot of Japanese art styles like very much praise. Like it happens the same in JRPGs. Like go look at Final Fantasy, it's fucking particle effects everywhere. Go look at Forspoken, it's particle effects everywhere. That's just something that like Japanese animation developers just do. I don't really know why, but I mean it sells clearly. But like in terms of style, I agree. In terms of like fidelity of actual animation, I still think Ufotable deserves a seat at the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not like that's not like slander to them, but there are a lot of Kyo animation. I think clears the fuck out of Ufotable. Studio Ghibli clears the fuck out of Ufotable. I feel like there's a lot of studios that you can put ahead of Ufotable. That's not slander. Ufotable is good. It's great even, but I just think in terms of like he was saying, compositing style and whatnot, there are a lot of studios that you can put above Ufotable. And all motherfuckers know nowadays is Ufotable and Mappa. Dare someone speak about a manga getting adaptation? You ask, what studio do you want? Oh, I want Ufotable. I want Mappa. Like, bro, give me another studio.
Wit. Studio Wit's one up there too.
Studio Wit,
yeah. Studio Wit. Like, I think there's a lot of studios that's better than Ufotable, but that's just me.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a lot. I definitely see. I mean, I've only really seen like edge runners from Trigger, but Trigger does love edge runners. What I've seen.
Trigger has great goals.
It's a good studio for sure.
They did Dungeon Meshi. They did Kill la Kill. They did Gurren Lagann, right? What was that?
Yeah. I was looking at it right now. Yeah, they did Gurren Lagann.
They did what's that one movie?
They did Darling in the Franxx too, I believe.
Yeah, they did Darling in the Franxx. They did
it's a good adaptation.
What's that movie? Promare. They did Promare.
Oh yeah, Promare. I see that one.
Like, that's just I don't know, but that's not a bad take. That is not a bad.
Okay. Take. Next one. This one was actually in the chat, but I also have it from where he said it as well. GEASS is better than AOT. MC actually changed the perspective of the whole world, and he went on to talk about it in the chat too. GEASS has a better ending. Better ending arc for more important character and side character, and Lelouch actually changed his world for the better while Aaron's world continues a cycle that's never ending. That's not bad, but how they did it could want more to be desired.
No, it's just that okay. I think that's more of a expectation thing. That you misunderstand Aaron's goal and the theme of the story. I don't think there's a single thing that GEASS does better than AOT besides the ending of the series. Cost is better. Obviously, granted, it is two different stories set up completely different ways, but I don't think there's a single thing that
I think Lelouch is better than Aaron. I definitely agree with that.
Absolutely not.
Well, I think.
Oh man,
am I mad at that take? No, but I disagree. Because Lelouch is one of the better protagonists in anime manga, but like I'm not like I personally disagree. Obviously, Lelouch and Suzaku have a great dynamic. Like Suzaku being a foil to Lelouch works very well in the story, but other than that, there's nothing really to like kind of talk about. Besides that and the ending, and AOT does a lot of things better than GEASS.
I see what you're saying. I still prefer GEASS, but I do agree that AOT does a lot of things better. I think that the things that carry GEASS carry pretty hard. I think that I enjoyed GEASS like throughout. Like I don't know. I guess I always had the hot take myself of not enjoying AOT like initially as much as I did like later on as I kind of got through it. Which I didn't really have that same issue with GEASS, which again, season 1 is a lot of people don't like it as much.
I think there's a lot of contrivances when it comes to GEASS. I
know I need to rewatch it
when it comes to GEASS. Like if you go back and read, like if you really like look at GEASS like event by event, it's like there's so many things. It's like, bro,
but like fuck it though.
I just think like the way AOT story is set up is just too masterful, man. And like Aaron's complexity is like, bro, I don't know how you know what I'm saying? I'll glaze it.
Lelouch is complex. Come on now.
He's just glazing. That's what he is.
I did also said like Lelouch is one of the greatest protagonists, like in my opinion. But I'm like I said, I'm not mad at Lelouch being over Aaron, but I think besides arguably MC and obviously by a clear margin the ending, there's nothing else that no other conversation to be had between AOT and CG.
I think they're a series that strive to do two very different things. Yeah. I think saying that, it's just the way that the take is worded, right? Where it's like, because Lelouch was able to change the perspective of his world and the other main character failed, that makes it better. Not really. Those are two series trying to do two very different things with two very different messages. I think GEASS, is so centered around Lelouch versus Attack on Titan. You look at like the overall cast of characters, so it has a very different strength in that regard. But I think it really does lay on how much you think the ending of Attack on Titan fucks up everything that came before it. And that really varies on who you ask. Me personally, I definitely think the ending could have been executed a lot better.
Yeah.
But what it was going for overall, I'm not really upset at. But that's the thing, is that, you know, when you compare the ending, the send-off of Lelouch, like his character, that's like the thing you always hear about Code Geass.
Yeah.
Is like how the ending just puts Code Geass, like that's what makes the story.
Yeah.
And versus Attack on Titan's ending, it's make or break depending on who you ask. So I think for the reasons you would say Code Geass is better than Attack on Titan, I wouldn't agree with. Shit, I don't even know if I have Code Geass above Attack on Titan, because one, I've seen the anime, and the other one I read the manga, so it's always a little tricky to like compare the two presentations.
Understandable.
I'm not mad
they're
at it.
close. They're close.
Obviously, I would say that AOT ending. Obviously, there's a lot of things that could have been done better, but I think thematically, how it like encompasses the entire like theme of the series, I think it's done amazingly. But obviously, like you said, depends on who you ask. But
all right, okay, this comes from our other one of our other co-hosts, Dylan. Fuck it, Isekai is the future of anime.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, I had, oh my god. So I was talking about this with Scam. I don't know if he's ever gonna do it, but the idea was how solo leveling is like killing manhwa.
yes,
Because every fucking manhwa that comes out is just trying to piggyback off the success of solo leveling. So now everything in manhwa is having the isekai problem where everything presents itself as the same, everything looks the same, everything feels the same. I don't know if I was going to do a video on it because it would be very simple. It was just, the premise of the video was what anime could learn from Soul Eater. And it's like, my guy, if you're going to do isekai in a medieval time, do it in fucking Germany or Italy. Yeah. Anything but the exact same. And the reason why isekai, it's not the future, it's the present of anime, unfortunately, because these studios can use a bunch of reused assets. They don't have to animate all that properly, and so many people are still going to watch that shit. But they don't have to actually like put all the crazy amount of budget in it. Yeah. So it's not the future of the anime. It's the present of anime. It is a poison. It's a cancer.
Oh my goodness.
It has. It is studios understanding that the anime fandom has grown so large that they could put out whatever bullshit they want and get away with it.
There's a genre of people gonna watch it still. That's what it is.
Like
I got turned into a pig.
Bro, I've actually saw the first episode of that. It was so bad. Me and Scam sat there and watched it, and we're like, what kind of cuckold watches this shit? Like, what?
I've said this before. My take on isekai as a whole is like, it shouldn't be like that, because the isekai, there's so many things you can like explore when it comes to just a fantasy setting.
And they're
but
good
you
isekais.
choose to just throw out the same
ones
all the time.
No,
like,
what do y'all expect when like it becomes profitable for studios
if it's broke,
to just
don't fix
adapt stories from this like site where just like random niggas just write stories about people getting rear-ended? Because that's where all the schlock is coming from. It's coming from I forgot what the title of it is. I have it in
I was reborn as a vending machine.
No, talk about the website.
My fault.
I forgot the websites are called. But it's it's just frustrating, dude. It's just frustrating a bit because, you know, you see 20, you know, like I'm still waiting on my favorite shit to get adapted. But no, these studios would rather, you know, to be fair, I would rather those studios not touch, you know, what I hold near and dear. But yeah, no, it's like what Cardiac was getting at. It's like, it's kind of what do you expect, you know? It's like when, it's like, I don't know. This is a little bit more of a focus thing. But it's like with Shonen Jump, we shouldn't be surprised that in Weekly Shonen Jump, we see kind of the same retreads of things because they have a demographic and they have to appeal to that demographic to sell and make money.
It's for 12-year-olds.
Yeah, most of the time. So, yeah.
Low key, though, I do kind of disagree with the take in the sense that I think that Isekai is getting close to running this course. Like, not necessarily within the next possibly year or two even. But I think soon we're starting to get to the point where people are getting tired of it. Even the people who, like, it's just gone on for multiple years at this point of the same shit. At some point, people are going to get tired of it. I think we've seen, like, with the success of, like, even Frieren, for example, kind of coming in and, like, being a little bit different in terms of taking fantasy, which most isekai kind of are, and taking that in a different direction. I think that you see with that blowing up and like other anime starting to blow up as well, that like Isekai may be close at least to it kind of coming to a downward hill.
I'll say it's also because majority of the great Isekai that people like gas up, ones that's come out a while ago, like Mushoku, it came out 2018, I think. You have like
Konosuba,
Konosuba is like other ones that people like say is good, but other than that, more the newer ones, people will look at it and just be like, same old gamer. Someone either gets reincarnated into something, or it's like they're taking the gamer route, level up route, or something. It's just like, or the overpowered.
I hate the RPG.
Yeah, the RPG. Yeah, it's
bullshit.
not. Okay, one thing I will say, recent was good. It was I'm watching Shangri-La at the moment. I think
you like it. I like it too. It's really good.
Yeah, I think Shangri-La.
I gotta check it out because
Shangri-La is actually pretty solid. It's
I would say that's one of the more
good fighting, solid animation. I think Uncle from Another World's kind of funny.
I haven't seen that.
Just because the idea of like somebody so he's like basically just like retelling his stories from when he was in the Isekai world to his nephew, in the real world, and it's just sort of like it's more comedic. So like, and the comedy's pretty good. It's pretty unique in that sense.
See, that sounds like a good like. I would actually watch that. It sounds like an actually like new idea I've never heard of.
Yeah, but
it's a bit fun.
Like Isekai is like Manhwa, like you were saying, is that this is my issue with Manhwa as a whole. Manhwa, it suffers from it not really having, like, majority of them having not much of a story because it's the Isekai effect. Like majority of them, it's just like, overpowered character, one note character gets overpowered, or it's a level up thing, or they've been reincarnated. But it's like one that I did read recently that was actually really good. It was like Isekai style, Her Summon. I thought that shit was fire. I would recommend everyone to read it.
Okay.
That's neither here nor there. River, that was remember the panels that I had posted?
Okay, that's what it was. That's
where it was from. Like, onwards, they have great art, but the stories is very lacking because of the reproduction of the same.
And the format.
Yeah, that's what
because I saw a video of someone saying, and this is the last thing I'll say, saw a video, webtoons it's the webtoon problem, and this is kind of going on what Mass was talking about with the idea that you were spitting with Scam earlier. He's just talking about how like webtoons as a concept like are kind of like a de-evolution of like how to read comic books and shit, and it's an amazing video. It's like pretty short, and he's just talking about how like the way that they're formatted of like single scroll screen or whatever, it's perfect for like a TikTok generation, but literally horrible for like expanding how we read comics, manga, etc. And it doesn't really also lend to like any type of experimentation with the storytelling. So it'll, like y'all are saying, it'll probably like follow in the same steps as Isekai in terms of being schlock or having same story structure because of the format of the medium of webtoons and whatever.
100%.
That makes sense. So Augie says, "Say Masked Man, more like that motherfucking."
What's up, baby?
And then he also went on to say, "I have more stocks in Devoro getting an anime than Isekai taking."
I mean, shit, bro. If that'd be cool one day, but it would be. I hope it actually never gets that popular. I would prefer it to stay kind of like
the underground.
Yeah, like let me die and then let it get big. You know.
Last thing you want is agenda people in your series.
Bro, I tweeted this out a few years ago when I was kind of like working on it and everything. And I was actually going to bring this up when we were talking about the whole manhwa thing. But what pisses me off so much is they'll have these insanely awesome premises and they'll shoot their load in the first chapter. So it'll be these banger first chapters, but because they've kind of they've already like dropped the other shoe as fast as they could to get you hooked, the rest of the series just fails to be interesting. Yeah. When the initial premise, they would have just slowed down with it and kept some mystery, I think I would have been more intrigued. Some of them do it really well, like Bastard, Sweet Home. Those two in particular, Boxer. I think those are really good ones. But like
the Horizon,
yeah, Horizon. But like if I tweeted this a while ago where it was like, if I ever got a death threat, I would find out who that person's favorite character is, kill that character. And if the reason I got the death threat was because I killed their favorite character, I'll find out who their second favorite is and kill off that character. But I don't think I'm as petty anymore.
Just opens Twitter to make character.
God.
What's going on?
So what? You're basically like gay, but like...
a little bit. I think you have to be a bit of a sadist to write. Like it's weird because like you build up these characters. You're like, oh, I love this character. I'm gonna put all this love in, but you know from the start, this motherfucker is dead. I'm gonna kill this motherfucker.
Random car.
Obviously, I think that's the problem that most mangakas have is that when it comes to like editors and shit, because obviously editors control kind of somewhat like the finalized shit that the mangakas do. You have to just kind of put your foot down because Kubo got death threats for certain characters getting killed. Spoiler alert, Byakuya.
Mm-hmm.
But then obviously he was getting death threats because of it, because he was a fan favorite and whatnot. So yeah, he brought it back in a very unsatisfying way. And then, yeah.
I actually heard that wasn't completely true because I brought that up in my most recent video and somebody said that was... The thing is it's always tricky because I remember like when, I forget, but like whatever manga is doing well at the moment, then you'll see like a tweet from one of these big Twitter accounts being like, oh, this author got a death threat. And it hit me at one point. I was like, how the fuck do you know this?
Yeah.
Who told you?
Right.
Like,
Scuba Ryan talking about Gege must have gotten
who's your source?
Yeah, it's like source. I made it up, most likely. Like, that's for sure.
I think it's the same thing with Goku in Cell Saga when he died. People saying Toriyama was getting death threats, so he brought him back. But I think apparently the main reason was because he couldn't find a way to write Gohan as the protagonist, like as the main lead.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
So he brought it back. Plus, Goku was a fan favorite, so his editors told him to bring it back. But
the editors having more of an influence makes more sense.
Yeah,
that is more believable. Yeah.
But it's the classic case of, I forgot what that paradox is, where like once people learn about, oh shit, these mangaka are really being told what the fuck to do. They're really at the beck and call of the editors and the fans and Shonen Jump. They don't really have any control. So then they just start to attribute that to like any decision that they don't like. But no, like Toriyama just does not. he just didn't like know a way to write Gohan.
Yeah, he just literally couldn't write Gohan, so he brought Goku back.
Type shit. All right, well. I know we had mentioned Solo Leveling, so I was like, might as well knock this one out real quick. Solo Leveling is the most mid, overhyped, and overmarketed anime of the 2020s. All the dungeons are just caves with almost nothing interesting features. The most absolute boring MC. Dang, this man's a hater. Not to mention the opening song with the most corniest lyrics I've ever heard. I would have rather rewatched SAO.
Don't follow him back. Don't follow him back. Please.
I'll get this out of the way real quick. I think Solo Leveling, the anime coming out when it did, was good for a lot of YouTube channels that wanted to, meat bounce and get a quick video off. But I think, no offense if any of y'all did that, but like, I just realized like I'm in a call with YouTube. My fault. No, but like. I think by the time the Solo Leveling anime had come out, it had already had its impact on the manhwa and like the entire webtoon scene. So when Solo Leveling first came out, as in written form, it was somewhat new, you could argue. But now that the anime's come out, people have already seen a million other things that do what Solo Leveling does, some of which do it far more interesting with a far more unique artistic, portrayal. So then the anime comes out, and everyone's been hearing about it. It's been so hyped up. And then you're just sitting there like, well, I've read this a million fucking times already. Like, what's going on here?
I think it's the same thing.
Sorry, go on. My fault. Let me interrupt.
Well, it's the same thing that I say with people who don't find either Mushoku Tensei impressive because of, the acclaim of it being one of the first majorly what's called recognized like written isekai, and then like receiving its adaptation much later than a lot of the things that influenced. Or the reason why I personally dislike SAO, because I've already seen it a fucking 100 times, because the idea has been readapted by the things that it's influenced, and they just happen to get adaptations before. Also, Solo Leveling, that shit's still mid. So
yeah, I don't. The thing is, even if I've like seen something a million times, it's not really the premise; it's the execution that would get me. Like I'll read Solo Leveling 20 million times in other series, but it just depends on execution if it's actually enjoyable. Now, when I read the manhwa, I thought the manhwa was pretty enjoyable up until a certain part, but overall, that take, I'm not mad at it. Solo Leveling is not all that.
Bro, Ichiban would be dying.
I was
right
gonna say
now.
Ichiban would be fighting
This is
everybody
like
right now.
he loves Solo Leveling.
I still disagree with the take though, because to be honest, and I love this series, but and it's only because it came out in 2021, so it is included in the 2020s. The first sentence of the most overhyped, not produced, but like whatever. Yeah, it's Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
time out.
I would say
Time out.
Demon Slayer.
Time out.
Man, I love Chainsaw Man. Look, hold on.
I need you to rewind and put subtitles on so I read the bullshit you're saying. So run that by me one more. Okay.
I love
fair enough.
Chainsaw Man.
Okay.
I love Chainsaw. I have more volumes of Chainsaw Man than I do Attack on Titan, Blue Box, and Down to Down combined.
That's completely fair. But the anime being overhyped?
Yeah, I don't.
Yes. I'll say this. The reason why I say that is because as a manga fan, as someone who's a manga fan and hyping up the anime before it came up, what we were hyping was the series in totality. But to the people who had not appreciated or seen Chainsaw Man yet at all, specifically the person next to me, they took that and applied that hype, that build up, that whatever to those.
He did the same thing with JJK. He did the same thing with JJK, by the way,
guys. to those 12.
Just only when season 1 was out.
Okay, I get what you're saying, because like when the anime came out, it got like a lot of flack, and I've talked about this in regards to like what's going on with the part 2 in the manga. It's like people don't remember and understand that like what we praised Chainsaw Man for is its second half. Like that was the part where so many people got
It's chapter like
now that you've run it by me, I understand. You can proceed. I'm sorry. You got it. You got it.
Oh yeah, that's it though.
Hey, that's
I think in the normal lie, I think it would have.
By the way, River's the only person that doesn't read manga. By the way, so
okay.
Yeah, once they adapt the later half of like the latter half of part 1. That's when all the glazing I will allow it.
Will be
oh, dude, I'm gonna be throwing ass in a circle, bro. No pause on it, bro. No pause.
I'm
already. No pause.
It's the same, but I think that's my same sentiment.
Make it look like
JJK.
a sexy red music video.
Like JJK season 1.
He just wanted to get that off.
I'm sorry. Continue, TK.
I feel like JJK season
like I just want the Ice Spice. My fault.
JJK season 1 is like GEASS.
You asked Gorilla.
What was
you're not even a fart.
Like the level that it was, but I don't think it's like it was. It shouldn't have been, because it was Shibuya and shit that like people were saying, "Oh, I can't wait till this is animated," and then people took that and then applied it to season 1.
No, hey, I did that to Shibuya too, man.
No, but you're a fraud, bro. I'm not. Listen to me, man.
Hey,
to be fair, I think with JJK, I don't think you can apply some of the same logic, because that shit was 24 episodes and they had a much faster adaptation rate. But yeah,
that's why the first season of Chainsaw Man has 7. Like people would see that the anime. Obviously, I've read it. I've read the part 1. But when people would see the score of the anime, it's just like, why is it so low? It's just like the stuff that I would gas Chainsaw Man for, they didn't adapt yet. So I can't.
It's a cool
I will say what it did adapt. I thought it did well. Like I really felt the Himeno stuff was more impactful.
Yes,
but it's all set up.
It's all set up, but also I hate when we, as like just watchers of media in general, try to discount production value in like this shit. This shit matters. Like, there is a baseline level of how good a Star Wars project is. Just because it's always going to look fucking amazing. The worst looking thing in Star Wars is like the Obi-Wan show. And that goes for the same with like Chainsaw Man. There's only so bad that you can say that Chainsaw Man season 1 is, because it looks fucking amazing. It has
you gotta say the same for Demon Slayer then too.
I said the same for Demon Slayer. That's why we had a 2-day argument about whether it was good or bad.
That's why the anime, when I read the anime, that's why I said free. That is all production value.
Yeah, because it's a 3 just because of production.
Yeah. Just for production. And agenda, but that shit
y'all need to watch
man.
that video, bro. Shout out to the dude who does the analyzing Fern series. He did an amazing
Chainsaw Man 6 out of 10, JJK 7 out of 10. All right, let's continue. Okay, so let's move on to the next.
I'm watching you, Wazowski.
Alright,
always watching.
Always watching you.
All right, so next take. I think I know who this was for. So we have Weed Apples. Berserk really wasn't that good.
that good.
that good.
He's about to go off on an absolute tangent right now.
Mass thoughts?
30 minutes?
The universe will handle you. I know who this is. You're not gonna
Yeah, I know
me.
who she is too.
You know,
man.
so you got it. You got it. You could just take that one to the bank. You could. I mean, obviously, I don't, agree with it. So it's like for many reasons.
All right, this comes from Archie, friend of the show. You can't call yourself an anime fan if you only watch one genre of or demographic of anime. You are a fan of that genre or demographic. That's like saying you are a fan of cinema, but now watching superhero movies. Nothing wrong with being a shonen fan, but don't speak as an anime fan.
That leans
He's the elitist.
Yeah, I was about to say that leans on the wall of elitism.
Well, so real quick, I think he was not completely wrong until he said shonen. Shonen isn't a genre; it's a demographic. So you can have a shonen, and a shonen could be a horror, it could be an action, it could be a romance, it could be a sports. Now, if you only ever touch anime and manga when it comes to horror, then it's kind of understandable to say you're more of just a horror fan. But if you don't fuck with anything else that's ever been made in anime form, that could be a fair statement to make. But then if you say shonen or seinen, you've completely fucked up what you're saying, because that's like saying like, oh, you're only a fan of a specific genre if you say you watch movies, and it's like you flipped it. So
it's like you only watch sports, you don't watch anything else.
Good try, Archie. Good try.
Yeah,
almost the wording was almost there.
The wording. I get it.
But give him the benefit of the doubt. I guess he's probably trying to say it better.
Like, if someone said to me they only watch a sports anime, it depends on what they're saying. If I would turn around and respond with, "Oh, you can't really call yourself an anime fan." Like if they say, "Oh, sports is the best genre in anime," you can't really speak on that because that's the only thing you watch. But if you say, "Oh yeah, you watch anime," like you're a fan, like I like watching anime, but I only watch sports. I'm not gonna sit here and say, "Well, you can't say you're a fan of anime," because you all you said is you just like watching sports. Yeah. But it's like it depends, because I think saying stuff like that and like kind of like trying to like weed people out, it falls on the line of elitism.
Yeah,
policing normies 100%. Is gonna scare the hoes away.
100%.
I don't really like me personally. I've been watching anime since like 2010, 2011. If someone who just started watching last week came to me with a take and they said, "Well, I just started watching anime last week," I'm not going to sit here and say, "Well, I'm better than you are. I don't care about your take." If your take is valid, I don't care what time you started watching anime. If your take makes sense, we can have a conversation about it. But if you let's say you just watched 5 anime and you say, "Oh, well, Demon Slayer is the greatest anime of all time," I'm not listening to you. It's as simple as that. I'm not listening.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things too where somebody's most likely just going to self-report. Like I think anybody who's like aware that like, oh yeah, I only fuck with like horror stuff, or I only fuck with sports, or they're gonna be like, yeah, I fuck with sports. That's it. Yeah. I don't think anybody's gonna sit here and be like, oh yeah, I'm a huge. I mean, unless they're trying to impress someone by saying they're a big anime fan, and when they've only watched one thing, it's like, But I don't know. I don't think I encounter that many people, claiming to be anime fans when they aren't. I haven't had that experience, but then again,
even if you're a casual watcher, and you claim to be like a big anime fan, it's like I'm not gonna look at you crazy.
Clip.
Holy see.
Take I'm farming. Fuck it.
I'm farming.
Send it to her too. She know who I'm talking about. She know what I'm talking about. Keep going, River. I'm finna get myself in trouble.
Cardiac got Riz with the fake end. This comes from another friend of the show, DJ. JJK is a remake of Naruto. You know I'm a JJK fan, but that whole having a master with white spiky hair and the fact the main character resembles Naruto too much.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
How does Yuji resemble Naruto?
I mean, unless he's trying to say it, it's just because of the demon inside of him. But even then, let's move on to the next thing.
And you got the spiky hair.
Kurama and Sukuna are completely different.
Tropes don't make you.
Yeah, I was gonna say
this man's gonna say Megami's like Sasuke, really?
Because literally, in essence, Kurama and Sukuna are nothing alike. So
yeah, we can move on.
That's just.
You know what'd be killing me, bro? I always used to think like, nobody actually means this, and then I've gotten in calls with some people, They're like, no, listen, Mass, listen. I'm like, oh, he's being dead ass. Oh, he means it. Oh, wow.
Listen, you got to see the vision.
Yeah.
Trust me.
It's like, you got to see the vision, brother. You are blind. You're blind. Let's just move on.
You're not Gojo. You have the blindfold on, but you can't see out of it.
No.
Exactly.
Man, but
I'm not gonna be real. My favorite, I think, I kind of understand the take because I actually like the part in JJK where Yuji was a reincarnation of a god. I actually like that part, and I also like when Megumi actually. What did he do with his like Shadow Susanoo or some shit?
He betrayed the village too, remember?
Yeah, with the shadow. Yeah, I remember he betrayed the Jujutsu Society with his Shadow Susanoo. I remember that. That shit was fun.
Yes. He left the village and then came back.
Yeah, and actually, Kenjaku, they actually started a fourth. It was called the Fifth Sorcerer's War. I don't know if the mistranslation.
I was gonna add on to this with that corny ass nickname that they had for like the dark manga.
The Dark Trio?
Oh, the Dark Trio?
No, not the Dark Trio. The four of them. It's like the four horsemen.
What was it?
Yeah.
I forgot what that dumb ass shit was.
I can't remember either. It was something. Oh, fuck. It was something. It was 5 because they had Kagurabachi in there too, I think.
I agree with that take, though.
It was like Kagurabachi, Tokyo Avengers, and then
they had Kagurabachi in that bitch for like
and,
2 chapters. Yeah. That's just the funniest shit.
But you guys don't agree with that take, though?
That's Twitter farming again.
You guys don't agree with the take?
TK, I am not paying you no mind.
I'm not with the same series.
Anyways, this one comes from another friend of the show. Shout out to my guy Pierce, man. Piccolo was Gohan's real dad because he raised him.
Oh my god! Okay,
I hate this Goku.
All right, okay, all right. So we're dealing with this now. Okay, so I need you to explain to me. Okay, I need you to explain to me how Goku could be an absent father when every time he was dead and not there was because he was saving his son's fucking life. The series starts with him teaming up with Piccolo, who's a piece of shit up to that point, to kill his own brother to save his son, in which he died doing it. Comes back to do what? Save his son again. And I want people to remember that when Piccolo first took care of Gohan, he wasn't all like, yo, let's run some Street Fighter after you have a good session of training. He was like, I'm going to hurl this little fucker into a mountain. If he dies, so be it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he didn't care about
So be it. Goku trained with him within, like, you know, the time chamber and was actually, like, you know, a good father when he could be there. But it's kind of hard to be a present father when you're, like, the guy everyone's relying on to save the Earth all the time. Okay? So I'm just going to throw that out there. Goku wasn't a deadbeat. He was just dead. We need to cut this shit off, all right? If any other character dies twice for their son, no one would say they're a horrid father. No one. Not one person. Not one.
Why literally, like, when it comes to, like, Piccolo, the reason why, like, his redemption when he saves Gohan hits so well is because of the fact that, like, he didn't give a fuck about him prior. And he obviously how he was in the original iteration of Dragon Ball.
Niggas didn't watch it.
I hate that. I hate that take.
It was
you're exposing that you didn't watch the series.
It was a good joke in Team 4-Star. Oh no, they don't. It was a funny joke in Team 4-Star. Team 4-Star's hilarious.
Team 4-Star has done unrepairable damage to the community.
They have, but they contributed. They contributed the abridged series, so they more than made up for it. But no, like it's like people forget. Like Piccolo didn't adopt Gohan. Like, oh man, his dad ain't around. I'll be the father. He was like, yeah, he didn't do that. He was just like, I'm gonna use this fucker to conquer the world. Look, what the fuck? Look at... All right, bro.
Are we gonna sit there and then say Piccolo is
on that note?
Goten and Trunks? Goten and Trunks is dad because majority of the time Goku and Vegeta are absent because they're all
speaking of Vegeta,
planetary and universal threats.
He the second taste.
He spelled Vegeta wrong so hard.
Vegeta is the best husband and father in anime history. This shit is so unserious, bro.
I disagree with that.
He didn't give a fuck about Trunks like in the beginning.
Dude, Vegeta. It's just any logic you use for Piccolo, you have to attribute to Goku. He's like, oh, but he sacrificed himself for Gohan. Goku did it twice,
multiple times,
twice,
more than twice, really.
More than twice, actually. 3 times. Because remember Planet Namek? He's fending off Frieza so Gohan can get out of there.
Yeah.
So that's 3 times. And when
too.
he didn't return immediately, which people might call him a deadbeat for, he was learning instant transmission, which I think we can all agree was probably like the best decision ever.
Yeah.
And like even when he's like saving the fucking Earth, who's on the Earth or who is he also saving? His son.
That's what I'm saying. His family,
you know what I'm saying? So it's like we can't just
I'm genuinely
negate
confused.
that. Like, what do you want Goku to do? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, fuck the Earth. Let's just all die. Let's go hang out in the.
Let's go fishing while everyone dies, son.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you want.
The first episode of Z is literally him on Nimbus with his son going to Kame House to show them that he has a kid.
Niggas want to make Goku Homelander and just say fuck everyone else and just.
It's the same sentiment I hold with Ging.
So crazy.
The anime makes Ging to be a deadbeat, but in the manga, Ging's actually not a bad dad. He was forced into that scenario by.
So you know.
Jing?
You know
Jing. In the anime, it makes it seem that Jing abandoned Gon like with Mito and then left. No, Mito actually wanted him to like go and be a hunter. She said she'll look.
Is that new information, or was that like did we see that in like already in the manga like before?
In the manga you see it, but in the anime no.
Okay.
The anime and manga for Hunter x Hunter is different.
In the manga, isn't that revealed once they like actually meet back up with each other?
Nah, it's literally like the first chapter of the manga. She says, "Oh, your dad didn't leave you. Like I forced him to go." But in the anime, it makes it seem that he's a deadbeat for some reason.
Okay,
I don't know.
You know, I haven't
forced him to go. Sounds a bit extreme, knowing Jing, but I'm sure he wasn't that hard.
No, he wasn't a bad dad. I hate when they put Ging and Goku in bad dad conversations. I hate it.
All right, man.
I saw a tier list, and they had Goku in the same tier as Peter Griffin, and I was
like, what are we doing?
I just was okay. All right.
Oh okay. Man, yeah. Okay,
Jarvis,
takes from River type take.
River type take. Okay. Hold on now. Not too much. Not too much. Okay. So this comes from Leaf. Shout out to Leaf, man. 2000 anime has some of the best choreography for fighting in anime. New gens just have real good animation to make it seem as if it's clean.
Okay.
I partially disagree because JJK has good choreography, and choreography can mean two things. Like a lot of people would say that the Zoro and King, it's not a new gen anime, but a lot of people say the Zoro and King fight doesn't have good choreography, but choreography doesn't just mean hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I think I partially disagree with that take.
Partially agree, partially disagree. I think is where I'm at. Yeah, I agree with you. I think
if he said more like clear, because sometimes it may be difficult for like newer fights to like
easier to follow or harder and whatnot.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that take, but yeah, it's different.
I think the thing that makes it different for especially like, and I'll stick to Shonen for lack of, because I doubt he's talking about like the choreography and Psycho-Pass. What's it called? Because of the expansion of power systems and whatnot and how complicated that has gotten, I can see, especially when it comes to like paneling and if we're talking about manga form, but no, he left it to animation. Can't even give him that bell. Fuck no. Yeah, no, that shit. I mean, aside from things being like complicated and harder to follow, and I mentioned earlier about like particle effects being spammed by some of these studios, but like beyond that, no, like fights are more often than not like easier to follow. Outside of Ufotable, to be honest with you, even as a Fate fan, even as a fan of their work on Demon Slayer, sometimes they get too horny with the shit that is getting all done on screen.
All types of effects in there.
Yeah, like, and it just makes it like pretty hard. But like anything after like, especially like 2011.
God forbid someone has epilepsy watching that Ufotable work.
all the purple is just fuck them.
Absolutely cooked. Absolutely.
But yeah, no. Oftentimes the choreography is better. Just post 2011, to be honest.
I mean, that's just what we have to work with too. So it's like, it's not really like, as things go on, you would expect as time goes on and you get better. Obviously, like
technology,
machines, technology and shit, it would be expected to get better. But that's what I'm saying. Because even there's certain fights back then that are better choreography, like has better choreography than fights now. So it's kind of like you just have to nitpick. That's why I say I somewhat disagree, because you can throw the answer both ways. But
in the second take, also I will happily watch any 12 episode isekai than watch any episode of ReZero.
Smells like dog shit. Absolutely.
Hey man, I agree ReZero's overrated, man, but
ReZero is
it
not
ain't
overrated.
that bad. It ain't that bad.
ReZero isn't over. We need to stop this. ReZero.
It's okay. I mean, ReZero is like cool. It's like cool, but like people act like it's like the best isekai. It's like peak of peak, bro. It's cool, man.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
It's too
how
repetitive.
many isekai are you gassing up to that level though?
I mean, Mushoku is better than it. I haven't seen like so many isekai though. You feel me? So it's like,
okay, so how much
you just said one?
You probably just said one. So it's like if someone says it's the greatest, what's wrong with that? The bar is insanely low for a good isekai. So it's like
not even that. As of right now, you have it at 2. So for you to say it's
okay, I have to think of
overrated.
all things that are considered isekai.
It's better than SAO.
Is it better than the vending machine one?
It's better than Overlord.
Is it?
For Alex's first
sure?
words to be, is it better than the vending machine?
Is it though? Like,
no,
if we really want to
than
talk
everything.
about it.
A group watch win?
Yeah.
Is it better than the Slime Man Isekai?
I'm sorry, bro. I'm not allowing this ReZero slander, bro. ReZero fire.
ReZero's like a. It's like a. I don't know. It depends on what episode of ReZero, because there's some bad episodes of ReZero. It's like a 7.
There's bad episodes of, huh? So you're
Matt,
judging the entire series of
light
one
novels?
episode?
Nah, so here's the thing. I did a video on like a visual novel like over 2 years ago, because it was one homie of mine in particular was like really adamant that I would enjoy, and I just did the video in a way to like, you know, promote it and all that, which clearly some people on Twitter weren't all too fond of because they wanted an actual analysis. For me, I just wanted to, you know, give it more attention, Fata Morgana. But that whole fandom of visual novel and light novels, listen, bro. I have to be so careful with what I say. There's just
the power of power, huh? The power of influence.
So they could use some deodorant. That's what I'll say. I'll leave it to the imagination what I'm talking about. But dude, no, because here's the thing. I think like there's a genuine appreciation for like light novels and visual novels, but those things take investment, dude. And like, dude, you're talking like 100 hours plus of shit, and it's like, oh, there's so much depth to there best fucking be if it's 100 hours of content, like, you know, respectfully. But nah, I haven't gotten into ReZero. I've heard some really good stuff. I always forget what I don't know if it's split into parts or what it's called, but it's something. Is it 7? Is it the 7th one or the 6th one?
Are you talking about the light novels?
Yeah. There's like, I don't know if it's like book 7, book 6, whatever the hell. But I always hear like
volumes or whatever. I don't know what it's called.
Whatever it is, but like I always hear like ReZero.
The dumb shit.
There's always like a lot of high praise for it, but I haven't gotten into it myself, so I can't say.
That's fair. Because even like any light novels or what's it called? Even visual novels to an extent. Like, or things that get adapted into visual novels. It's like, you're right. The level of investment is insane. And also the level of access is insane.
Yeah.
Half of these people are relying on like fan translations for years.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, if you want it on Wednesday when Shonen Jump's going to put it out on Sunday, you can, read this fans. No, for years, people will just play the fan translations of Fate, of Fate series, of Classroom of the Elite, of reason, and these are like series with adaptations with established fan bases. There's no reason why, like, I'm looking at ReZero, there isn't English official English translations for the volumes that came out in 2021.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah, the accessibility is nuts. And in general, those fandoms are very gatekeep heavy. So they don't do themselves a favor, which I always find a little weird. It's like they get mad that it doesn't get more attention while they actively do everything possible so that it doesn't get more attention, but whatever. Like if you think like seinen and manga fans are elitists, bro, you will get
that's what I'm saying.
You'll get some dude called Raj doing like a 50-paragraph essay for free on Twitter about this shit. And it's like, my guy, with all due respect, if you got that much passion, get a fucking microphone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we have words, no pictures. Like, shut the fuck up. on the playground, dumbass. Oh my god.
We use our
Next take.
imagination.
Stupid ass.
The soundtracks, though, in certain visual novels go crazy. The music is fucking... I will vouch at least for soundtracks that I've heard. But I can't speak onto the actual quality of most of the series because I've only been through one visual novel. And it was great.
Fair.
So
all right, so next we have a conglomerate of takes from Augie. These are Augie's takes.
I should have known.
Brother, turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it off right now. I just seen the first one. Turn it off.
All right, so first take, Full Metal is mid. I don't think we need to talk about that too much.
That's crazy.
Not talking about this.
No.
I dropped it, so I can't say.
Yeah, I know you dropped it.
I've tried. Here,
Yeah, I saw your video.
It was in the era where I just couldn't watch anime. I tried the manga. I just couldn't sit through it, which is weird because that author has a new work as well, and I felt the same way. I just couldn't sit through it, and I don't know what it is. But I can't say if the story. I'm not gonna hold on. I'm not saying the story is mid. I'm just saying I can't speak on it. You know,
is it
There's a lot of great series I dropped and I get back to. You know,
yeah.
Is it because the mangaka's a girl?
No. Okay, all right, let's
I will say he is a big fan of Doro.
All right, now wait a minute. We can't do that to me. Dorohedoro, written by a woman. I'm pretty sure Kaguya-sama is also written by a woman, right?
Yeah.
The Gray Man is written by a woman. Now, hold on, because I got to defend myself a little bit. I have to defend myself a little bit, okay? All right.
Demon Slayer is written by a woman. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, well, don't include that one. That's easy. All right, but like, you know, no, I'm playing. It's a fun series. So yeah, just to clarify, it's not because the author's a woman. That's not what it is at all.
No one genuinely thinks you're good.
Hey, bro, you just have to be careful because I flipped a coin, and if it had landed on heads, I would have said damn right. So I just,
would have gone crazy.
Yeah.
Oh man! All right, man. Let's see what the next one was that he said.
Augie,
okay.
if you can hear me, I'll find you, yo.
The new One Piece is going to be the perfect adaptation for fans of the manga and people who complain about One Piece being too long and bad pacing. I don't know if that's that hot of a take, honestly.
Yeah, no, that's not a take.
One Piece getting a new anime is the problem.
Number one, that's the problem, and number two, even a perfect adaptation of One Piece will still be too long because One Piece is already too long.
Yeah, speaking of that,
and by too long, I mean to for.
I was gonna say you say that you say something like that until like you catch up and you say it's not long enough. It's not long enough, bro. That shit fire.
Pause.
TK, I know there aren't clips of it, but I want to clarify. TK has said some wild shit, like multiple times.
Insane.
Like this is the third strike. This is the third strike.
Yeah, you're out, buddy. Get him out of here.
Yeah.
Listen, if you don't say pause, no one's gonna point it out.
Okay, I don't think that's how that works. Anyways, we also had
you said BBC is fire. Like
it is. Pause.
Okay. Yeah, we had to take on the One Piece anime, so I was like, you might as well pull it up. One Piece doesn't need another anime. This comes from the boy Timmy. Yeah, I mean, low key. But at the same time,
if that's the case, you need new anime for majority of the other series that have terrible pacing.
Yeah, and there's as we've talked about, there are other anime that could use an adaptation as opposed to
Tokyo
One Piece getting another one.
Tokyo
Ghoul, that is one that needs one.
Or a series that could actually get a good adaptation for fucking once instead of some shit like One Piece. But no, it's fine.
Hey,
the greedy,
Berserk,
the rich get richer. It's fine.
Berserk anime is fire. 2016 is a great adaptation.
I just can't have. I will hurt you. I just can't have shit. Like I need people to understand my frustration. Berserk, horrid adaptations outside of one in 1997 that covers one arc. Okay, Vagabond has nothing. Pun will most likely get nothing. Vagabond might because of the arcane thing. It might.
Yeah, I don't want it to though. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm a Ronaldo fan. My misery, like my life is misery, okay? And for those who watch pro wrestling, CM Punk is my guy. That guy could be gone for 6 months at a time, and I waited a decade, all right? Them shirts came out, and I bought all of them because I knew I might not get another chance.
He pre-ordered those shirts.
I can't have shit, okay? It's unfair. It's just not fair.
You're a Real Madrid fan, bro. Come on, you got something.
Okay, true. I guess that's the contract I signed.
It's part of the Ramadan voodoo. You got everything else.
Nothing else is successful. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's just continue with these. Sports anime are probably the most
amazing.
consistent, good genre. I think
That third take is absolutely amazing.
It's not a bad take.
Absolutely amazing take.
I
Jonathan
think
is
the only reason
worst
people say
JoJo?
that
That's
is
crazy.
because
Sorry.
I think no, you're good. I think the only reason people say that about sports anime or manga is because they only ever read the good ones. Does that make sense?
Facts.
Like nobody out here is reading Inoue's basketball series that failed. Nobody's doing that.
Buzzer beater?
I think that's what it was. And then you have like Kuroko no Basket and stuff. There's just too many that I think like are okay that most people haven't read. I forget what the baseball one's called. And then there's also the
Ace of Diamonds.
Ace of Diamonds.
I think that's what it is. But either way, like I think you could, if boxing's included in that as sports, which I think it is, he might have a point because both Ashita no Joe and Hajime no Ippo are
it is.
incredible.
I started
Like
the
mixed martial
boxer.
arts,
It
the
seems
Ken-
pretty
Ken-
good.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Included in
So
that.
he might actually be spitting because
that take is amazing.
yeah, Hajime no Ippo, Ashita no Joe, Real, Slam Dunk. Don't throw Blue Lock in there. Haikyuu.
Thank you. Thank you.
So you know. And it's
Thank
like,
you.
oh, well,
Blue
dude,
Lock
you don't
Oh,
understand.
if you
I
start-
have to see 32 videos explaining to me what the concept of ego is. I know what ego
Bro.
is. That shit is just boring and
Bro,
repetitive after
I
chapter
said-
50. I could care
That's what
this
I
much about
said
the
this.
characters. This much. It has good artwork. It talks about ego. It's a quote-unquote deconstruction. No, the fuck it isn't. There's egotistical characters in other fucking sports manga. You just
Thank
don't...
you.
All right, whatever.
Thank you. I've said
A
this.
deconstruction
Look,
of
listen,
TK,
Blue
you
Lock is
like Blue Lock.
Okay, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna gas it up the way these other sports series are. If you watch
Okay,
other sports
alright.
series, you will know that Blue Lock isn't like top. It's not top 20. It's not.
Oh,
It's not
what's that
even-
one take Urzi had? Can we talk about? We need to talk about that.
we can talk about it right afterwards. Actually, I got it in my mind. But there's so many. Literally,
yeah, gotta remind me.
the most sports that people see, the main two would be the main three: Haikyuu, Kuroko, Blue Lock. Blue Lock and Kuroko, majority of the time, are gassed up to be better than Haikyuu. Haikyuu clears.
Really?
Like
You think more people have seen Blue
they don't
Lock than-
touch Haikyuu's nuts. You said what?
You think more people have seen Blue Lock than Slam Dunk?
No, I'm talking like.
Oh, you're
modern,
saying present, like modern?
Yeah, present.
Oh,
Present.
okay.
Yeah, Slam Dunk is like
Okay.
iconic.
Slam Dunk,
generation.
Slam Dunk literally paved the way for.
Thought you were saying all time. My fault.
Oh no! Just present. You look on TikTok or whatever. These people gassing up Kuroko, they're gassing up Blue Lock.
I like
People
Blue.
think Haikyuu's mid, but when you actually
Haikyuu better,
dive deep into the genre, you have One Outs, Ippo, Real, Slam Dunk, Kengan,
Preach.
the Climber.
Wait,
you have so many
climbers of sport,
climbers.
I guess.
Yeah, climbers of sports.
Okay,
You
all right,
have so
climber.
many-
Yeah.
You have so many other sports series that gap the fuck out of fucking Kuroko no Basket and Blue Lock. They're only saying this because it's hype. That's all they care about.
Not too much.
I'm
Not too
sorry,
much.
Blue Lock.
Dude, you don't understand how many times I had like a Magnum 12 to my skull when
Like,
they're over
bro.
here like gassing up Blue Lock during the World Cup. I'm over here like with
It's
tears in my
sickening work,
eyes,
man.
sick as fuck. Like,
Oh,
Sickening work, bro.
initial D too. I'm not gonna lie. That's
People say initially.
we're including. Yeah.
yeah,
me
no,
actually-
D is fire.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Okay.
I'm not
all
pausing,
right.
bro. I'm not pausing. It's just,
Sorry,
I
I'm
stand by what I say every time.
doing this, man.
Yeah, I've seen
I'm
some
not like
of your
TK.
tweets.
TK's
I've seen some of your
ashamed.
tweets.
We ain't gonna talk about my tweets. We gotta
Me
talk about my
ashamed,
tweets.
bro. BBC fire, bro.
Nobody knows the
What's the-
context.
what's the
Nobody
next
knows
thing?
the context. bro.
Nobody.
Move
Yeah,
on
we
to the
weren't
next
even
one.
live
Move on to the
yet.
next
We
one.
weren't
Don't
even
even-
live.
yeah.
Since we're on the topic of sports, I
Yeah,
would
go
say,
ahead,
you
yeah.
have- I'll say Urzi's take.
I could
Urzi
probably
said that
find it,
Blue
but it's
Lock-
just you saying it.
It's,
so.
it's long. Blue Lock has a better cast than Haikyuu.
Ooh, fuck. Dude, I saw like one season of Haikyuu. I caught up to Blue Lock like a year ago, so I'm a bit behind.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even agree with that take with what I've seen from Haikyuu, and that was one season.
That's tough.
I'm sorry, like I'm gonna be
You've
real.
already seen Date
Look,
Tech. You've already seen Oikawa and his team. Like, yeah.
The blue lock class barely touches Shinsuke Kita, who is not even like a main starting player in season 4. In one of the teams in season 4. I'm sorry, we go character for character. Haikyuu, like, it doesn't touch Haikyuu's nuts, bro.
Bro, that
Hanata's
shit,
balls clears Blue Lock.
that should be driving me nuts when like people were like talking about Blue. I was like, I didn't know soccer could be interesting, and I'm like, oh, I'm just like,
How
That's
Ashley
bad.
is better than better than Blue Lock.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
number 1 too, and Inazuma 11.
Fucking
Yeah,
Shaolin
man.
Soccer is better than Blue Lock, bro. Watch that
Skate
movie.
to Infinity's better than Blue Lock, man. What's the
Goal.
next?
Goal is better than Blue Lock. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, what's the next take? What's the next one, man? Because
So let's just finish Augie's real quick. We'll speed run the last few. Part 2 of JoJo's the worst part, and so is Jonathan as the worst JoJo.
Jonathan's really basic, so there's not all too much with his character that you could get into. I think JoJo's, the more it went on, the more flamboyant and the more kind of like memorable each of the protagonists became. So I'm not mad at it. Although I'm personally think Joseph's kind of overrated, but we won't. And yeah, I think part 2 is the worst by far. I think by far it's the worst. I think maybe you could argue the beginning half of part 3.
Part 1 and part 3 are right there.
Nah, I like part 1 more than 2. Like part 1 was dope. I liked part 1. I fucked with part 1. It's short and sweet. It felt good. Part 2, I'm just kind of like, so like.
There's no way. Part 2 is fun, bruh. Part 2 is fun.
Cool. I predicted what you're gonna do, and I predicted you predicted. It's like, I'll get the. I was like 12 when I saw that for the first time, and I was like,
it's sure. Fun, bro. Part 2 is fun.
Nah, I'm just hating. It's been years since I've seen it, so
I hate part 3 with my entire being.
I'm not mad at it.
I'm stuck on episode 5 of part 2. That shit's so boring already.
Yeah, I'm like 5 episodes into part 1, so it's gonna be a while. Anyways, this next gen of anime is going to be better than the MHA, JJK, and Black Clover era.
It's crazy because
I don't know how you say that.
You have to include it. We have to remember this era has Chainsaw Man and Hell's Paradise, and both of those series are fucking great.
This is my thing.
If we're saying the MHA genre era as well, you have to include Lovers War. Because we're talking just straight anime. Lovers War.
TK. I know you heard that Hell's Paradise comment. I know you heard that.
We had this convo, and I hate the fact that pod died.
Wait a minute. You think Hell's Paradise stinks? Did you read it or watch it? Did you read it or watch it?
I read it.
You read it. You read it.
Yes.
You're a Chelsea fan. Nah. He's a Chelsea fan. He doesn't know what good taste is. You don't know what good taste is. You're a Chelsea fan.
I read it. And then a few months afterwards, I remember I seen your video where it said the best. We said the best cost.
I'm be honest, I wouldn't even really agree with that video anymore because of Chainsaw Man existing.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Hell's Paradise does have a great cast, and the manga was fucking fire.
I disagree.
Okay, so I'm gonna run through this. I'm gonna run through this real quick. You have JJK above Hell's Paradise.
That's up for debate. I'll be real.
Okay. What in like the modern things that aren't like Kaguya-sama and like the obvious number ones, right? Chainsaw Man above Hell's Paradise, I'm not mad at either.
Yeah, I have Chainsaw Man
above
Hell's Paradise.
Don't you hate Hell's Paradise?
Demon Slayer, do you have above Hell's Paradise?
No, I don't. No.
Okay. What else? Black Clover.
From what? Okay, this is the thing though with Black Clover. Listen. This is the thing with Black Clover.
Okay.
I have it rated as a 5. Now that I'm not saying it's better than, because I don't have an opinion on Black Clover. It's not bad. It's just painfully mediocre.
So what do you have Hell's Paradise out of a 10?
I have Hell's Paradise out of 4. I have Hell's Paradise out of 4. I have the manga out of 4. And listen, the reason why I have it, I can explain to you. I thought at first, Garby character was very interesting to me to see where it was gonna go. But I think after I had found out, like, I forgot when it was exactly because it's been so long since I read it. I think it was when I found out his motive to do with like his wife, and then it's like his wife may not being real or anything. It kind of lost steam for me a little bit at the start. But then it got a bit better around chapter 40 when he first had the fight against one of the Tensen, I think. But majority of the cast, I don't like. Was it not Naru guy? I don't like Naru guy. I don't like the dragon motherfucker. I think Shibe. I think his character could have been better. Shigiri is good. I like Shigiri. I think Shugen needs to be freed from that series. I love Shugen.
What about Sagiri?
No, you have to say Sagiri.
And Yuzuria. Yuzuria was great.
I like Yuzuria. But I think the latter half of this series, especially when the ninjas or whatever showed up, they didn't need to be there. Yeah, it changed nothing.
That's fair. But a fucking 4?
Hey man, I wasn't. Hey,
that's what
like what you're laying out.
Coming for him right
what
now.
you're laying out, right there, officer, him, right there, that one, the Chelsea fan. Nah. But like the thing is, it's like everything you're laying out sounds like more so like minor gripes with execution, and not like fundamental issues with like entire character arcs.
I think
premise of the series itself.
I think majority of the cast is not well done. I think the cast is pretty poor in my opinion. I think I think the antagonist, the final fight absolutely sucked. I think the antagonists stink. The only one that's interesting for me are the twins.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
I think the only one that's interesting are the twins. I think the Urahara, no sorry, the who's the guy at the end that's like laid back? He kind of reminds me of that guy from Bleach. I forgot his name.
Oh, the long hair, the one who like flirted with the guy before he got off the boat.
I wanted to see. This
wanted to see more of that character.
This doesn't go into my rating because he wasn't really a character to like
begin with. He wasn't set up that way. Yeah,
I'm just saying I would have been nice to see more of him. So that's just like a side comment. But I think back then the feeling that I had whilst reading it is just the hype. It had a high point. It would get its high points for like 2 chapters, and it would just dip again, and I just wasn't fucking with it.
Okay.
I didn't like the cast. Gabimaru Gabimaru is one of my favorite characters. If I was to say characters that I like from the series, Gabimaru, Sugiri, and Shugen. And Shion. Okay. Shion. I kinda like Shion. Okay. Other than that, I think the main cast, I think Chibe, whatever his name is, I didn't like him. I didn't like his brother or his the whatever. Didn't like bro. The antagonist kind of sucked outside of the twins.
So we just fundamentally disagree on whether the cast being is well done or not, and that's like the big appeal. Okay,
I will say I do factor a lot into characters because I think characters are the overarching drive for the story. So if I don't fuck with the characters, majority of the time, my opinion on the show will be much lower than it would if I fuck with some of or half of the cast. Because I'll be able to give leeway, but
okay.
But Black Clover, I'm not gonna sit here and say if Black Clover is better. It's just that I don't have really an opinion. If you ask me what I think of Black Clover,
Paradise had a 4 though. Holy fuck! That's wild because like I think. Well, here's the thing: we're gonna spend like 2 hours going back and forth on this, but I will just say my piece. I do think what Azachobe represents with like constantly having to rebuild and reform yourself and like evolve as a person. I think there's a lot of like thematic strengths with the characters, which you see with like Aza and all of that. And I think the way that Yuzuria's character was handled was awesome. Like I think the way that she presents herself and the fact that all of it was a lie in those final moments you get with that character, I really did enjoy. I feel like if Hell's Paradise warranting a 4 would be like if all the sacrifice all the characters did was for nothing because it was all a dream and like everything was good at the very fucking end. Like that's the rating I would give it if that's what happened. I'd probably give it lower than a 4. But I think we just fundamentally disagree on the way that the cast is handled. And I do think that those chapters that like it hits like a super high note is because in those previous chapters is doing so much establishing to building up those characters. I will say one gripe that I do understand with Hell's Paradise is because it's trying to focus on so many different characters, you could see potential for some of them that then doesn't get expanded upon, or the story kind of whiplashes you with a lot of back and forth. But a 4
and it doesn't come together very well at all. Either.
Holy shit!
Just for like a cohesive thing.
The antagonist is a fair point, though.
Maybe if I revise it, revisit it later on, and maybe I'll think differently. But at the time that I had read it, because I'm not gonna cap. When I first read it, I gave it a 6.5.
Okay.
But then over time, I don't know what happened.
You revisited mentally, and you were just like,
I wasn't. I was like, I'm not really.
Okay.
So the negative, I will say in my mind, the negatives outweigh the positives that I had for the series. So that's. But if when I originally read it, immediately after I had sat down and thought to myself, what would I give it? I think I give it like a 6 or 6.5. So. Okay. But over time, it went low, and that happened to many series. Like just the mental thing, and it's like maybe if I revisit it, we'll see. But
it'd be like that sometimes.
You know,
I do. River, what's the either next Augie one or next one in general?
I think I was gonna dip too. But,
I gotta get going. I gotta go pick up food.
Type shit. Oh my god, appreciate you as always.
What you getting us?
Nice meeting you, Mass. I hope you guys have a good rest of your.
What are you going to get us, Alex?
Nice meeting you as well, man.
I'm gonna go get Chinese rice, and my brother wants Taco Bell.
I'll take sweet and sour
Bad
chicken
food.
air fried rice, please. Thank you.
Would you want the
I'll see you
drink?
soon.
Tea.
So this is
All right,
RNGs.
bro. All right.
No, right. Took a minute for him to think about it. Freaking fake ass
I don't know,
order.
actually.
Get him a Jack Daniels because he's gonna have to watch Chelsea play this season.
Jack and
I
Coke.
have
huh?
listen after the Wolves match. I have faith. It's delusion, but
I don't know why.
it's delusion.
You have to watch. You have to watch
Anyways,
that in football league.
Weed apples. We did in fact judge your take already, and yeah, it is.
It
what
was
is.
short
It
to
was
save Mass
short and
blood
sweet.
pressure.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
The universe will take care of you. I gotta say. The universe.
This is good.
I've heard that take so
Augie's-
many times. It's just like, all right, you got it.
You get enough.
Yeah,
They be trying.
maybe try.
The last and probably the worst take I think I've seen that Augie had was a Smile Bomb opening is mad overrated and isn't a bop compared to most others. Yeah, that's a horrible take.
Smile bomb.
What is Smile Bomb?
Yeah, what was?
That's
Smile
Yu Yu
Bomb?
Hakusho's opening.
The first one?
We're gonna find. Yep.
There's
Augie,
no
we're gonna
way.
Find you.
There's no
Um,
way. There's no way. No. Augie, we're gonna find you. Oh my god, we're gonna find you.
Augie, next DreamCon, you might have to watch.
That's one of the great- that's one of the-
So
There's
I want to throw this out there, Augie. I'll bear your cross. I think most anime openings suck. I think most anime openings have like the most corny taste in
Please
music.
have a butt.
I skip every single anime opening ever. There's like a few that I fuck with, like 2 of them being from Attack on Titan, just because it's a genre of music I prefer listening to. But if I turn on an anime, and I know it's kind of stupid because it's like watching something Japanese and not expect, but when I hear that J-pop, it's like, I could have wet it. I'm just like, all right.
Okay, real quick.
I'm done. I don't fuck with that shit. I don't like how it sounds.
Am I gonna get,
Okay.
seconds or something? Are we gonna get copyright?
Although Chala from Dragon
Yes,
Ball goes hard.
good.
That one I rock with. The Yu Yu
Chala.
Hakusho one, from what I remember, is fine.
How do you
Attack
feel
on
about?
Titans is fine.
How do you feel about Fly High? If you
Which one is that?
Haikyuu opening.
I don't think he would have. He's only seen season
Oh,
one,
bro,
so he
I don't even know it. I
Oh.
skipped it. Like I
Oh,
tell you, I
yeah.
don't give him a chance. I just don't. I just
There's
skip.
no way.
Hold on, should we play it or?
Ranking of Kings opening 2.
We'll do whatever. I don't know. What
Yeah,
two-
no,
TK
I've always been that way, always, and it's like the one take. I think that's like my worst take ever because
Yeah,
it's
that's
just a me
bad.
thing, you know. It's like I just don't like visually. It's like, oh, this is cool, and then the music starts, and I'm like,
I be bumping them hoes, man. I just can't.
That's what
I can't
I'm
get
saying.
behind
I be
that.
bumping. I got a playlist with like 400 and plus of them bitches.
400. Get a job. Oh my
Okay,
God.
400.
I
400 is
don't.
bad.
No, I don't think putting openings into a playlist takes that much time, Cardiac.
400?
400.
Do you know how many shows? Do you know how many shows I've watched?
I guess.
Get
I
a
wouldn't-
job.
Why wouldn't I make a playlist of music I like?
Nah, that is so. That's you've seen at least probably 200.
Oh, you
I
think
get
that's
what,
something? Let me tell you how much
300,
more time I spent watching
Putting
Japanese
music into a
cartoons.
playlist. Putting music into a playlist isn't. What are we doing right now? There's
Have
no way
you
this is the
ever
hill you're
said-
gonna die on. I refuse.
What's the most amount of songs you've listened to that playlist in like a single setting?
Okay, Mize just
That
said
doesn't-
I have
that doesn't mean
1,000.
anything, though. I put
and
my shit
he
on
has
shuffle.
1,000 openings in his. So
I put my shit on
No,
shuffle.
no, 1,100.
1,100.
Not
yes,
1,000.
Okay.
It's-
Now see, Mize. That's.
There's no point of having the playlist then. There's no point.
Hey
What's
man,
the-
my
what do you
playlist.
mean there's no point of having a playlist?
You just like J-Rock. Just go to an existing J-Rock fucking station or whatever the fuck and press shuffle on that.
I'm not understanding your take right now. You're yapping right now. What are you talking about?
There's no the point
once
of a
you
playlist.
have
playlist.
1,000 songs, what's
Yeah,
the point of the playlist? Because those songs are. Although granted, you could argue you could put those songs in whatever order you want.
But I have mine on shuffle. I hear my
What the
songs.
fuck? Go to a radio. Well, you just play a radio.
It's songs that I like.
I'm not gonna lie.
It's songs that I why would I put it in an order and play it in the order?
Okay,
and every
I
time
need
you
you.
on the
Okay,
playlist-
I need you. Okay, TK. A radio station. The odds of you getting a song you want on a radio station is going to be the same if you have a playlist with 400
Of a
songs
thousand.
on
Okay,
shuffle.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm going to be
No.
honest. I'm going to be honest. I disagree with that because there is an actual algorithm on Spotify.
Oh, well, I wouldn't know because I've explained this, although
Yeah,
this
it
was
is, yeah,
not
there's
live.
an
I
algorithm
don't
for it.
use Spotify because they sponsor FC Barcelona. Any
Okay,
product
fair. You know, you
that
did say
sponsor,
that.
like, there could be a hospital right, that sponsors FC Barcelona. I could be dying, and if I drive and we're driving and I look out like at my eyes that can barely see, and I see it's the hospital that sponsors Barcelona, I'm gonna tell you to let me die.
All I'm saying is, if I have like, let's just say random number, if I have 4 Kendrick songs at the top of the playlist and then 3 J. Cole songs, and then whatever the songs, the playlist is like 1,000 songs. Why would I, every day that I visit that playlist, why would I play it from the start and have it in order? I'm going to be repeatedly hearing those songs for however long I listen to the playlist.
That's fair enough.
There's times I might listen to the playlist for an hour.
You just don't like Kendrick and J. Cole enough.
That's not how that works.
I'm gonna be honest. I can't really talk because I use like those like bootleg YouTube to MP3 apps.
Hey,
and
I'm
they're free. They're free.
There is no way this is the timeline
it's not bootleg.
There's no way I'm getting flagged for making a playlist. Not in this timeline. I refuse.
Yeah, TK, I'm with you on that.
Hold on. Making a playlist is fine. Making a J-Rock,
making a playlist of 400 to 1,000 songs is
what's
ridiculous.
wrong with that?
I have 600 on my
How does it defeat? If it defeated the purpose of the playlist, they wouldn't have it. They would have a limit on it.
A playlist exists for you to have a set aside list of curated songs that you would like, whether it's a specific feel that you want, whether it's a whatever. But for you to have such a number that first off exceeds anything that you would ever listen to in one sitting is stupid in itself.
But that doesn't mean
why would you want to hear the whole playlist?
Listen,
you're not making sense. You're not making sense.
I want to be able to skip.
Why do you listen to the playlist in one sitting?
I'm saying first. But
I
then
like
also
having
on the playlist.
a lot of songs so I can skip through to what I want to hear at the time.
That's what I'm saying. It depends on the thank you, River. If Juice WRLD comes on right now, I'm skipping it because at this moment I don't want to listen to a Juice WRLD song, but I like the song, so it's in the playlist.
It makes sense. It makes sense. It's like you have like a large pool that you can just kind of like pick and choose from of songs that you exactly like. So there isn't the chance of a song you don't like popping up.
That's
you basically made your own radio station for yourself based off of your taste.
And I have different playlists for different genres. There's no
J-Rock is a little crazy though. J-Rock's a little crazy.
That's what I'm
saying.
Going from 50 Cent to like the opening of Kaguya-sama is a
That's what I'm saying. Imagine you go from T-Pad, you go from like Father Time.
You've done that before.
Hold up.
There's no way you have different genres in one playlist.
In my friend group, I am known as the worst DJ in the world. I will go from Bruno Mars to Blue Box, the Naruto opening.
You can't speak then. Your opinion means nothing to me. So that's terrorism.
That's not
cool. I will.
Imagine going from Father Time on T-Pad. So you're going from Father Time on Mr. Morale to a Gintama opening to Paramore to Beyonce. Like what the
but that's not in a playlist. That's just me playing music. that's not even because of the playlist.
Fair enough. I'll go from like a Slipknot song to like a bachata song to like Lady Gaga. It's like
I have that different like if I made this like a Spanish song playlist, I can't have that in like my rap playlist.
No, I agree. I have my own reggaeton playlist.
So the person with 400 songs in a playlist.
It's one genre. That's one style of music. So I have all of the ones that I like from that genre in one
anime
playlist.
Openings isn't a style.
It's not just anime openings though. It's J-pop, J-rock, and other songs in that genre that I like.
You just named 2 genres of music.
Bro, I'm gonna shoot you.
No, wait, although, he's not wrong because J-pop and J-rock, that's like saying pop and rock, same playlist. The only thing they have in common is the language.
It's literally just like, it's the same thing with Spanish. I'm gonna have every genre of Spanish music because who am I? I don't speak Spanish. Why am I separated?
Here's the thing. Spanish is a little, it depends because like reggaeton songs are all usually the same. But like if you add bachata, that can kind of fit the vibe because they all kind of have like a romantic, sensual feel to it. J-rock and J-pop, I guess you can't really get the right feel because you can't understand. I'm biased because like I speak Spanish, so like it's like
I get that.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm going to have one style of music in that playlist. That's my style. I have old rap. I have separate old school. I have a separate playlist for old school stuff. My 2-pack songs and all of that is in my main playlist. It's an old school. I have an old school playlist, and I have rap that I like now, and anything to do with that. I have a playlist for women artists, for female artists. It depends if I want to be on a bad bitch mood. I put that on.
Please tell me you don't actually have a bad bitch playlist.
I have a playlist called the bad nigga brunch. It's called B&B. Exactly what it looks like.
That's
But it was
insane.
Madrid,
He's not
That
lying.
is insane.
If I want to be in that,
Wow,
because listen, it's
okay.
not. Listen, if I'm listening to rap, I'm not going to be in the mood to listen to Keisha Cole. Let's be honest. So if I feel you want to listen to Keisha Cole
So
or
you be
Mariah
working
Carey,
out, you be working out and bumping some MySpace?
listen, no, I respect me. I would never bump Ice Spice a day in my life. She sucks.
Meg Thee Stallion?
Don't listen
Nicki?
to Meg Thee Stallion like that. I haven't completed the playlist, but Nicki songs would be in there.
Okay.
If he was
In the playlist right now, I've got like
you just don't have a
SZA,
female
Summer
playlist.
Walker, Janae Aiko, Lil Sims, Jill Scott, Rihanna, Beyonce, TLC, Mariah Carey, Missy
But
Elliott.
even all of that in the
Leifei.
same place, like those are so many completely different
we
styles
are
of
so-
music.
Do you hear what I said though? It's females.
Yeah,
I have a
yeah,
playlist for
yeah.
women.
Yeah.
Regardless,
You got any Tims
it
in
fits
there?
the genre. It fits the genre of whatever the playlist is.
The genre is just women. The genre isn't anything.
If I
related
feel
to
like
music.
a bad, yes. Coyle Ray raps. I'm not putting Coyle Ray in my regular rap playlist. If I want to listen to Coyle Ray, I mean, I do have a couple songs of Coyle Ray in my regular rap playlist, but she's in the female playlist. If I want to feel like a bad bitch, I'll listen to some Keisha Cole, I'll listen to some Summer Walker.
You saying this while looking like a TV
This just
antenna?
sound, sound like music segregation to me. This just sounds crazy.
Exactly.
I'm just not gonna put all my eggs in one basket. I can't do that.
Anyways, man, Mize said Real Madrid is fucking ass. Excuse me.
Put that. Hold up. Run that username by me again. Who?
That's
Who?
Mize.
Cares,
Kurosaki.
bitch. We're the greatest team of all time. You got me fucked up. Real Madrid is the greatest sports establishment that has ever existed. Has ever existed. And I won't be told otherwise. Our greatest player, Cristiano Ronaldo, left, and we still dominate at the top. Messi left Barcelona, and y'all can't even afford your fucking ball boys. I don't want to hear it.
And why did Messi have to leave? Because they couldn't afford his salary.
It sounded like a broke team to me. How you know why they broke? Because they was paying off too many referees. Eat that. For 3 years, they had to eat the BBC. That right there, they just had to for 3 years, 2016, 17, and 18. Oh my, bro, they do, bro. Fuck.
Alright, let's knock it on that tangent. For
This is
too
gonna
long.
be
We got
so
speed
funny
run.
editing this.
Yeah, we got to speed run some other takes. This will be the speed run segment.
The actual
Okay.
speed round.
This time we're serious. Okay, romance is best genre hands down.
I'm not mad at that take, but I
listen,
it's top 5.
Here's the thing. I'm not gonna say I read these out of my own free volition, but there is a sector of romance where, for some reason, and I don't know why, when it happens to be two dudes, the leading guy is always like a piece of shit, abusive, borderline harasser. And it is not there's like too many romances
you delved into this.
where I'm not saying I delved into it. I'm just saying I may or may not had to have read a few for a video.
Okay, fair enough.
And I don't know if you've ever read two dudes like kissing for 10 chapters straight, but it's kind of gay. Like a little, it's just a little bit.
I know,
like, I don't know.
I know.
You know, it's just a little bit, you know.
Have you heard of Sword Fight Island?
Oh, Dick Fight Island? That was one I had to read, yeah, for one of those, and it was wild. Like, I'm just sitting there, like, somebody drew this.
I watched a movie about two dudes.
What?
It was
Brokeback
an
Mountain?
movie.
Was it Brokeback
No, it was
Mountain?
It was an anime movie.
Oh.
The movie was dog shit.
What
But there was
website
a
did you
scene-
watch it on?
There was I watched it on,
Pornhub. No, but like,
I watched a website that's currently got taken down. Last night.
no, but romance is a little tricky because it's like there's a lot of romances that are pretty meh. I don't think it's I think a lot of stories that have well done romantic subplots. You know, I like romance as a subplot. Romance is like the main plot. I feel like there's too many series that like milk it for the sake of chapters and sales. When it's like logically this shit should have ended 20 chapters in.
Comey can't communicate?
Comey can't communicate is legit just autism speaks for 300 chapters. Like that's just all it is, respectfully. It's wholesome, you know? And I think romance is easy to like get people emotionally involved, but they just drag that shit for too much.
Yeah, no, I can somewhat agree. Have you read or has anyone here read Insomniacs After School yet?
No, I haven't.
I haven't read it.
I would highly recommend that. That's romance done right. I will agree. Like shoujo romance, I'm not too keen on for the most part, simply because of the self-insert female lead who just majority of the time has no personality. But that's
if anyone out there wants a really good, wholesome, like just warm feeling romance, Solanine is 100%.
Oh, you're so real.
Yes.
Oh, you're so
my
real.
god.
Read Solanine. You will feel
so real for that, bro.
So happy reading Solanine. It is. I've never been happier in my life.
It is great. It is just freedom. Just
that's your fire.
On to the next take, man. Shout out the guy RJ, man. Gotta go with the classic. Steins Gate is trash and boring.
Horrendous take. Take smells like piss.
This might be one of the worst.
Yeah, the take stinks.
So
that's my brother.
Here's the thing. Steins Gate, I remember sitting there, and it took me months to get through that shit. Because those first episodes are so long. If anyone wants to know what a visual novel is like, watch the first few episodes of Steins Gate. But like, that's just the way those stories are. They spend so much time setting the fucking stage. The payoff was great. Like, the final few episodes of Steins Gate made it worth it. But those first few episodes are like, they are... I don't even know how to word it.
I liked it, bro.
River.
I liked it too. And Fate Zero are so painfully, and I love Fate Zero, but episode 1 is so painfully boring and bogged down with dialogue in Pluto.
It's the longest 20 minutes of my life, dude.
Don't disrespect Pluto like that.
Wait. Did you say Pluto?
Don't disrespect
Pluto.
What's wrong with you?
Pluto. Nah, Pluto was perfect, bro. That first episode with that first episode was one of the best first episodes ever. Everything with number 2 is fire.
Number 2, what are you talking about? The Arca City.
The piano piece, fire,
like,
bro.
There's no way. This is what I'm
bro.
we need to find this.
The first episode of Pluto to the first episode of Steins Gate is like, I wish we could stone people still. Like, I feel like we should be allowed.
Mass, are you possibly interested in like replacing Cardiac on the coat to be a host?
Like, that's crazy.
You don't understand how much I waited. Now, this is like a personal insult to me, you know, because I waited for years for that Pluto anime, and it comes out, and me and my little brother are watching it, and then that scene with number 2 happens.
That scene's my favorite.
And
scene,
I start crying. I start fucking crying. Tears. I have that piano piece on my playlist, bro. And I just be sitting in tears. Just like, bro, you don't understand. Steins Gate was making me do that because of how long and slow it was. That shit, that's crazy, because Pluto had 1 hour-long episode, still went by faster than Steins Gate, okay?
Yeah,
I'm not going to have it.
Steins Gate is that long. Okay, I granted, the first, like, 6 or so episodes, I can understand that. It's set up. As soon as the bull gets rolling,
retrospect, you can justify it. Going through it for the first time, it was too long for me to enjoy.
Or the second time.
Pause. But, like, you know, it's just...
Third time.
That's what you pause?
Yeah, it was kind of sus.
Oh, okay. But I love D is cool. Okay.
Whoa, hold on. I didn't say that. Let's not. That is slander.
You did.
I didn't say I love D. I said D is fire.
Okay.
Those are two very different things. Everyone knows I'm talking about initial D. Like, y'all just, all right?
Right. I mean, you could, if you love it, you could love the anime too.
The initial D.
I River. I also like the first episode.
You also like D? Okay.
This is my thing. I can't judge a series for a slow start, especially if it's a few episodes. It depends on how slow it is and how long it goes on for. Because most anime, they have to set the stage. Like, they have to give an introduction. So I will give it leeway. But when that bull starts rolling like episode 7,
it's fire. It's fire.
That shit is heat, and it doesn't take its foot off the gas.
Nope. It doesn't. It's one of those things where, in retrospect, as a story, I can't judge it, but it is like a massive fucking heads up you have to give people.
Yeah, I would give some. Yeah, just like it gets.
But if somebody drops it like 4 episodes in, I'll be like, hey, dog, I don't blame you. You just got to push through it a little more, but it's hard. It's hard to
you have to get like this is my take on anime in general. Depending on how long the show is and what they're trying to do, you have to give the series leeway at the start, even if you're not fucking with it. I personally think at least get, like, if it's like 12 episodes, at least get three episodes in. At least.
If I wanted to catch them all, I'd be a Pokemon trainer, not an anime watcher. What's the next take?
Okay. This is crazy.
So as soon as something is uninteresting to you, it's dropped.
Not as soon, but I've tried to hold on. My chair's going down. I've tried to watch Steins Gate a multitude of times.
That's Satan dragging you to hell for that take.
That's what I'm
saying.
It's literally just the start. The series is 50 episodes.
I've been at the start for 3 years, TK.
Get past it. Go some rules and get past it. It's not that bad.
For 3 years. It's hilarious.
Just don't restart
you would only feel like
it
that for the
again.
first 6 episodes. That's literally it.
If I fall asleep every time, I need to restart it. Now, does me starting it at 1 a.m. before I go to sleep probably...
Oh, well, come on, dog. All right, bro. All right.
I'm joking. That was only one of the times.
I will say this, and I'll throw this out there, because I do plan on mentioning it in the Gintama video I'm going to do.
Fair.
Watch some anime at 1.25. It'll speed things up to make some things more. Let me explain why this is the case. Some people have what we call jobs and hobbies and lives. Now, I say 1.25 because certain series, especially older anime, you cannot sit here and fucking tell me Bleach, the beginning part of the Bleach anime, wouldn't be way better if it was just sped up ever so fucking slightly. Just ever so fucking slightly, which is the pace most anime nowadays come out. Now, certain other series like Vinland Saga and shit that actually has good anime adaptations, watch it at the pace in which it comes out. But I'm going to tell you the numbers right now that I jotted down of how much time I saved watching Gintama, okay? Because you can't sit here and tell somebody to watch a 300 episode anime, okay?
Yes.
So the original timing that it would have taken me to watch Gintama would be 122 hours, eliminating openings and fucking endings. I have other shit I need to do and work on and read, okay? So I put it at 1.25 times speed, which granted, because it's an older anime, a lot of those slower paced scenes, which the anime itself makes jokes about stretching shit on purpose for time to meet the time, fucking slots and all that. I put it at 1.25. I saved 25 hours just by watching it slightly faster. 25 hours, you could be Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 in that time. You could watch a whole other anime in that time. You could visit your kids during that time. There is so much you could do within that time.
Gintama is more important.
not even getting into the time saving part. The number one anime on my list in terms of it's just so much better sped up. Akaiba Maid War. It was a seasonal show during 2022 or some shit. The jokes just hit better at 1.25.
Gintama was the same thing. There were some jokes that low-key... I loved Gintama. It's my favorite anime ever, and I watched most of it at 1.25, except the movie. The final movie, I did it. But here's the thing. I missed nothing in regards to the characters. I missed nothing. I simply just sped time up ever so slightly. Now, if you don't want to do it, that's fine. But don't look at me like I didn't watch the series and capture everything when I watched it slightly sped up.
I can't get jiggy behind watching things in
Well, too bad. I'm over here throwing ass in a circle. I'm jiggy as fuck.
I can't get jiggy with it, bro.
What were you gonna say, Cardiac? I cut you off.
Oh no, you good. You can't have cutaway humor while you have 6 frames lingering in a show. And in Gintama, in Akaiba Maid War,
Gintama is paced fine.
In Naruto, in a lot of anime, especially in just older productions, or especially studios that have been adapting things for a long time. They have this trope where they'll adapt cutaway humor. Bocchi does an amazing job of it, but it's one of the rare ones where it has cutaway humor that you'll see in YouTube videos or whatever. But because the frame is lingering, it just doesn't hit the same. And jokes like that happen so much, and especially gag series that if you have gag elements in a non-gag series, unless you're just Psyche K, they're just not cutting away at the proper time. Unless
Gintama is hilarious.
You speed that bitch up.
It was hilarious at 1.25. Bro, I watched Gintama at 1.25. I put one of those early episodes back to its normal pace, and I'm like, wow, they are talking really fucking slow. You feel, and you know what's weird? I didn't even notice the OST.
You're accustomed to 1.25.
Yeah, bro, rewatch that early part of Gintama at 1.25, and I'm
especially
telling you,
y'all don't know what the fuck they saying anyway.
That shit is fucking. It hits just the same. I promise you.
Y'all don't know what they saying anyway. We talking about Gintama. Half of Gintama's not even in English.
Now, if you got the time, to sit there and watch all 122 plus hours of Gintama, and that's how you want to go about it, go ahead. I'm going to save myself an extra 25 hours by just slightly speeding it up. I'm not talking 1.5 where now they're speaking and it feels unnatural. It still feels natural, just a little faster. And it starts adding up over a 300 episode anime. You think Hell's Paradise is a 4. Hush mode. I'm not having this. Hush mode. I'm not having this.
What's the worst take, though? Like, what's worse here?
To be fair, he did specify older anime that they already have a slower pace to.
They have a pacing problem. So like, One Piece is getting a new anime because the older one has a pacing problem.
But the difference is with One Piece. We're not going to compare One Piece pacing to Gintama pacing. We're not going to do that.
Fair enough.
One Piece pacing is literal terrorism.
Yeah.
Literal terrorism.
Okay, listen. I'm not saying I would recommend Gintama complete. Like, it's best at 1.25. I just did it to save time so I could work on other videos and do other shit. But I'm not saying it's a requirement to enjoy Gintama. I'm just saying I did, and I still loved it to death. And I saved 25 hours. That's all it is.
With One Piece, you got multiple arcs where the anime has more episodes than chapters in that arc.
Yeah,
where do you get the extra content from?
Yeah.
Where'd you get the extra content from?
I mean, just because Gintama got canceled like 6 times doesn't make, and it had... Never mind. Let me not.
Anyways, Mugen almost was dying in chat and said, and then went on to say, "Let me watch the series at 5 times speed and fill out my Excel spreadsheet and be more efficient."
The thing is, though, is when you watch it at 5 times speed, the issue with that, and there's a reason why I said 1.25. Although I get the exaggeration, but like if I were to put it at 1.5 or higher, then it starts to feel unnatural, and you really run the risk of like just completely missing shit. 1.25, you just slightly speed it up so you don't harm anything that you're actually like retaining, and you're just simply like cutting out unnecessary lingering on shit that specifically is just not paced the way that it should be, which is the case with most older fucking anime. Let's just call it what it is.
Okay, so let me ask.
Plus, you're reading that shit anyway.
So let me ask.
With subtitles too, I'm reading it anyway, so I'm like processing the information faster than they're speaking.
All right, so let me ask real quick.
I'm not saying that's the
entirety of Gintama plus like serious arcs?
No, the serious stuff I slowed it down to its normal pacing. It's just the first season, the first 100 episodes where the majority of it's just set up in humor. I sped it up. A good amount of season 2 I sped up. Once it gets to season 3, which by the way, season 3 made me cry my fucking eyes out.
It's so real.
The movie, the final, Shogun Assassination, none of that was sped up.
Season 4 is
none of those sped up because the pacing was fine as fucking is. That was fine as is.
If you say you do it for the first few episodes of first like 100 episodes of Gintama.
Yeah, but I'm watching the Panty Thief. I have to watch the Panty Thief at normal pacing for you fuckers. No, I'm gonna speed it up slightly. Let me watch how I was.
Even though I disagree with sped up, I can give you leeway for
yeah.
Because I'm early Gintama is kind of.
Look, I get people not wanting to do it. That's fine. And it's like, fill out the Excel sheet. The more I fill out this Excel sheet, the more the money comes in. So for me, I kind of, you know what I mean? Like, oh, well, it's a business move. I'm sorry.
Well,
I mean, I feel it.
Anyways, on that note, let's go ahead and continue. Next take, basically pretty simple. Hot take. Konosuba is not funny and boring. Its first season was okay because it made fun of the typical isekai, but now it's stale with dry comedy.
The little bit I've seen from Konosuba, I found funny, but I feel like it's one of those things where, and I don't know if this is fair of a comparison, but it's like I would never sit down in an iShow speed stream, but iShow speed is funny in clips.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like there's certain anime, Konosuba being one of them, that are really funny to like make memes out of and to clip. I haven't sat down and watched a Konosuba episode in years. I think relative to other isekai, though, for what it tries to do as a comedy, I think it's funnier than most, but that's kind of a low bar. But like if I were just to compare Konosuba to like fucking Gintama, for example, it's not fucking close. Gintama's way funnier and far more entertaining.
Right.
Not to get masked in trouble, but Konosuba's humor is made for Nuxtaku fans. So take that how you will. That's all I have to say.
I plead the fifth.
All right, on to the next one. Oh, okay. This is from Mize. Sakura is a good character who gets too much hate. We always blame her for being so mean to Naruto, forgetting she was just a kid who basically just listened. I'm not even reading the rest. Yeah.
Listen, here's the thing. Sakura got hated because she was not likable. Her motivation and her entire reasoning for a character is founded on Sasuke. She fights her best fucking friend over Sasuke. And so I'm not even going to get into the fact that the premise of her character can come off as very annoying. But I mentioned this earlier. The fact that her entire character arc is predicated around her relationship with Sasuke and how she grows from that. And both of those characters hardly ever fucking interact for a large chunk of the series. There are moments where Sakura should be growing and evolving as a character, but Kishimoto never gave her that focus.
Yeah.
She is not a good character relative to the good characters in Naruto, let alone to good female characters in anime and manga, period. She isn't. If you want to point to a good female character in Naruto, Tsunade is right fucking there, who had an actual character arc dedicated to her. Sakura just doesn't get that. And she should have. Now, when I was younger, I was like, oh, this bitch. But as I got older, I was like, this bitch could have been, well done. But she just wasn't,
Is she bad? Is she would I say she's bottom of the barrel? No. People act like she's the worst character in anime.
You can say yes. You can say yes.
I mean, I wouldn't say she's the worst character. A lot of people, when people say, over exaggerate and say she's the worst character in anime, I disagree with that.
Nah, there's a lot of other pretty
niggas haven't seen bad anime.
She's not good. We're not going to say she's a good character. We're not doing that.
Compared to good characters in Naruto, obviously the great ones would be Pain, Itachi, Sasuke, Naruto.
Lady Chiyo.
Tsunade even, to be honest.
Tsunade, Sasori, Gaara. I throw Obito up there, Zabuza, those are the good, great Kakashi. Those are the good, great characters in Naruto. She is nowhere near any of them, but the fact that she should be is the problem. What Cardiac said earlier, someone like 1010 was always meant to kind of stink. That was not a character that was ever set up to be given importance. Sakura was, and the fact that characters like Gaara ran laps around her multiple times and did it backwards on the final lap is a problem.
Neji too, and his conclusion stank. So
yeah.
To be fair, is the conclusion. He was still written well before that.
Yeah,
no, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying Neji's a good character, but his conclusion stank. His death was quality only to
push Naruto over the edge.
Hinata and Naruto's relationship.
I'm not even gonna get on my
spoilers, man.
Stop. I'm not even gonna get on my Sakura tirade. Because honestly, I just hate her. Not even necessarily for her character development. I just really don't like her.
Sakura.
But character wise, I guess she isn't.
She's a better character than Sakura.
Yeah.
Anyways, on to other people saying characters suck instead of defending characters that aren't very good. Sanji is the most insufferable character in the Straw Hat Crew. I genuinely don't understand why he's a fan favorite.
I'll back this one up for a bit. So Sanji is a character that up to Alabasta is fantastic. From that point onwards, if Whole Cake never happened, Sanji is quite literally one of the worst fucking characters I've ever had to read, since there are legitimate things that happen, like in Thriller Bark, where you go, what the fuck did you do to Sanji Oda? Where is this going? He completely loses all appeal, and he simply just is there for lowbrow humor for the majority of such a huge chunk of One Piece. However, then Whole Cake happens. And when Whole Cake happens, Oda, I don't know how he Undertaker came back and made a phenom. Okay? Sanji, that moment in Whole Cake was fantastic. He brought back everything about the character and added a new layer to it that actually made him feel like a fleshed out character and worth rooting for. But that moment, after Alabasta and before Whole Cake, Sanji's pretty fucking insufferable. I'd agree.
Because I will say post as soon as post time skip happens, you can somewhat defend it, because for the 2-year time skip he was on a island with.
But come on, bro.
Cross-dressers and shit. When he finally sees a bad bitch after 2 years, he goes crazy, much worse than he was before. But it's still
for the following terrible. 5 arcs.
It's still bad though.
I'm on Fishman Island right now. It's so bad. It's so bad.
Okay, it is, but you can understand as to why he's like that at the start. But when it continues up until Whole Cake, Like, bro,
but still, there's an aspect to Sanji where he's always been like a gentleman. That was the appeal. Was like he loved women a bunch, but he was a gentleman. And then he pulled that, like, when you find out your friend is secretly like a criminal, like a psychopath, like, hey, yo, what superpower would you want? Oh, I want to be invisible and stop time. You're like,
yeah.
All right, dog. I know what kind of man you are. That's basically what happens with Sanji in Thriller Bark. Like, what the fuck is this?
He's just a degenerate.
At least, I will say in Thriller Bark, he does have that ending scene. And then also, I guess you could throw the one in Skypiea in there where he does kind of do the whole thing where he's like, oh, I would need the light and shit. There's moments, but yeah, overall, definitely not.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I had Sanji as one of the top Straw Hats since Baratie. It only changed in Thriller Bark because Zoro had his had a little moment, and then up until Whole Cake, he was kind of somewhat.
Nothing happened, absent. And since then, nothing has happened with Zoro. That's exactly what fucking happened.
Facts. Real quick, Mize and chat said, "Wait, can I ask y'all? Do y'all like Skypiea? I just finished it. Skypiea is fire.
Skypiea cool.
Skypiea is top 3 pre-time skip arcs.
Okay. See, now you're saying words.
So
the only 2 that's above it are Sabodi and Ennis.
I like Alabasta more than Skypiea.
Pre-time skip. I mean, if I can't,
it is pre-time skip.
Okay. I mean, number 4 then. But you get what I'm saying.
Water 7 clears.
No.
Water 7?
No, it doesn't. Clears. It does not clear Skypiea. Water 7 doesn't even clear Arlong Park.
Water 7.
Low key, I have Arlong Park above Skypiea.
I have Arlong Park above Alabasta.
Oh, hold it there. I really like 8 out of 10
arcs. I do too. No, they're both like great arcs, but I have Arlong Park over
8 out of 10.
I mean, in One Piece fashion, not like overall.
Okay, so like a 5 out of 10. Got it. I'm kidding. I can't listen. Man. I just want to expose myself just real quick. When I first started, I knew the One Piece fandom was like the biggest. So I knew if I played a little bit of Skip Bayless with One Piece, you got to get your name out there a little bit. And somehow, I love One Piece. All right. I love it. Doflamingo, like, you best believe I'm getting some Doflamingo tatted on me. Like, I fuck with Doflamingo. I fuck with Corazon. I fuck with a lot of One Piece. And just its world building is astounding. Like, for any author to do what Oda has done is nothing short of impressive. But I despise the fans with such a raging passion that I just troll a little bit. But it's all love with One Piece. It's all love. So whenever I shit on One Piece, I'm not being serious most of the time.
Well, hey, the only thing is with that statement, I will never know if Skip Bayless was actually telling the truth or not. I do wonder if he'll ever actually say it.
Bro, could you imagine on his deathbed, it's just a picture of him holding LeBron's hand? Like, I might cry.
Yeah.
River,
oh my gosh.
Check your thingy.
What thingy?
Your Discord. Check your Discord. If you want to put those up at any time, we can. All
right, Mr. BBC is fire. Jeez.
Okay, if I speak on Kaido, another hot take, Dressrosa's ass.
Dressrosa is not us. I disagree with that.
It is. It suffers from like probably the worst pacing of.
I mean, that's an anime, and I respectfully, this may sound a little quick. Respectfully, when it comes to talking about arcs, I can't listen to an anime.
I read the manga half of that.
Yeah, the manga for Dressrosa, I think Dressrosa has a section, although not as egregious as Wano, where it does slow down pretty hard.
Yeah.
But overall, Dressrosa is fantastic.
Because they do a lot of bullshit in Dressrosa. Just like bullshitting around. In Dressrosa and Punk Hazard.
I mean, that's more so just at the start of Dressrosa, like the Coliseum stuff.
That's fine.
After that, once it starts to pick up.
It still happens.
TK, I thought I almost leaked your number, but then I realized you deleted it. I was like,
oh, shit. I think it's one of those things where if something's a bit slow at the start, that's understandable because that's when you're in the exposition phase of an arc, right? Where you're getting adjusted to where they at, what are the major pieces and all that. But when you start, once the inciting incident happened and the ball gets rolling, that's why they tend to critique like certain things that they tell you to avoid when writing a story is having a really slow middle section. Because that shows that you thought out of a really good ending, a really good start, but you didn't.
And you're just trying to get there.
Yeah, you're just trying to get there, and you're kind of meandering around how to go about it.
Yeah.
So it all depends, though, on what we're talking about case by case.
I personally think, besides the Coliseum stuff, which I can understand criticism for, I think Dressrosa is one of Oda's best.
The best villain in all of One Piece, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not close.
For sure.
And that's why when we talk about One Piece anime, I can't listen to anime fans.
I don't know enough about.
Kaido is an S-tier villain.
Based off of what? Based off of
fucking agree.
based off
Get him above all of them.
Like he's like real hyped up. He's really strong, but there isn't enough to his character. Like Doflamingo's S tier. Anything outside of him, I low key just don't want to hear it.
The other it's just other antagonists that have potential, but they haven't really like Blackbeard, Akainu, and Emu. They just have they have great potential, but right now we're not gonna.
Well, I'll say Blackbeard and for Blackbeard and Akainu, I think it's more so the thematic dynamic that gets praised with them too, rather than like any writing of their action.
Oh, that's
It's the positions that they hold within the world of One Piece.
But that's why it's a potential thing, you know.
That's what I'm saying. Once their character really comes,
because it's still to fulfill it. Because
I understand.
This shit's too long. God damn it.
All right, on to the last few. We'll just quickly go through. My Hero Academia had one of the worst plot twists ever in season 7.
Disagree. It's just misplaced in the story, but that's not Hori's fault.
So who's writing the story?
Did you? But you read it. You read it, right? I guess we could just say what the plot.
Wait, so who's writing the story then? If it's not Hori's fault, who is it? Hori's writing the story.
We were just talking earlier about the impact of editors on
Agenda must agenda. Agenda must agenda.
Mind you, I am the I hate my hero guy on the pod, and like I'll defend Hori with this because I was reading the manga during all of this. So like,
the anime went in a different direction. I'm assuming.
Oh no!
I think it's the same.
It's literally just like a revelation that was built up like in season 2, but because of the editors at Jump, Hori has come out and said like, yeah, like at this time I did not have full control over the series. They were telling me to withhold certain things for viewership as the anime had started airing and whatnot, and that revelation was one of them.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
It was, they finally revealed the traitor. It was that one they didn't.
Oh shit! Damn, that's unfortunate. But yeah, MHA, I honestly have to get caught up to, because I was on it and then I fall off of it. I actually had a homie of mine, British as well, and he was like constantly trying to push that MHA agenda, and he would not shut the fuck up about it. Ace, that was Ace. So people know your name. There's a lot of Aces, but Ace. So if you know an MHA meat writer called Ace, he might not tell you this story, but I'll let it be known. I did a bet with him where it was like, if I beat you in FIFA, you can't talk about MHA in my server ever again. And if you beat me, I will do a video publicly saying it's better than Berserk. So we played 3 games. Would you all like to guess what the aggregate score of those 3 games were?
13-2.
15-1.
25-3. Beat the brakes off that man.
Oh shit!
Beat the brakes off.
Why would he has to be asked? Like, there's no way.
I low key was a sweat at that time. It could have been both. It could have been both.
Last thing he wants to do is have it documented that he's saying MHA is better.
Doing a series. I just want to know what the first game score was, because to get up to 25 after 3
tap into
games.
something like that.
Yeah.
Let's tap into something.
Neither of you make videos. Y'all can't do that. Okay, you know what? What
do you mean? Just probably say on the pod. Like we just going off videos that we've done on the pod.
True.
Like, if I have him say that like a series that he thinks is shit is better than Code Geass and the Lucius poorly written, like he wouldn't want to say that and have that documented.
I guess.
Or if you don't ever try to. I don't even know what you would try to say. I'm not saying anything's better than Monster. So
Sakura's my lover.
Oh god. For it. Oh no. Okay. People rely too much on meaningless numbers on Mao and let them dictate their taste. People need to be less close-minded. People can't think for themselves anymore. If an anime-manga score is low, high, or the creator says X is good or bad, somehow makes that set in stone. Obviously, not everyone is identical or everyone has identical taste, but isn't that the point of art? Yeah,
I think for the most part, I agree with that.
Good.
Everyone's a hive mind.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't have
thoughts
and opinions of that. Well, I'm not going to generalize everyone, but a lot of people that I've seen, especially on Twitter, they don't have a mind of their own. The amount of regurgitated shit that I've heard people say, One Piece doesn't get good until episode 300, or Gintama doesn't get good until episode 200 plus. So it's like, you haven't seen the series. You're just regurgitating everything that other people have said. Doesn't make any sense. One Piece gets good at fucking Arlong Park. If that's not for you, then sure. But it's not fucking episode 300. That's for damn sure.
Well, I think One Piece gets good like never. So, you know, I will say though, is like someone, and it's always weird for me because, you know, I'll see things being said, or I'll see like a bunch of TikToks get sent to me after I make a video on something. So like after I made my initial Johan video like 3 years ago, all of a sudden Johan's everywhere. And obviously Monster was a well-known series before me and all that, but I am it is sort of weird because it's like, I'll get the blame for shit that's said, you know, when it's like, hey man, this is how I feel about it. You should feel free to feel however you want about it, which I say at the end of my videos, like damn near all the time. Check it out for yourself. Have your own thoughts. But I do think there is the reason why this happens, you know, whether it's with Super Eye Patch Wolf, with me, with Scam, with anyone, is because people will have certain sentiments, and it's kind of our job to put it in the most efficient, entertaining words possible. Yeah. So then you'll hear shit regurgitated, but many times there's a disconnect with reasoning, you know? Yeah. Like, you told me you didn't like the cast of Hell's Paradise, but you gave me reasoning as to why. Most people, you ask them shit, they cannot give you the reason.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. If you ask me for things that I dislike Demon Slayer, I've done rants on Demon Slayer on here because I've been asked to multiple times. I can give you an entire list of reasons as to why I don't like Demon Slayer. There's a lot of reasons why I don't like a lot of things. Same thing, things that I do like, I can give reasons. If you ask me a question, I won't freeze. Yeah. But like most people, they don't have a mind of their own.
Why do you like Chelsea still?
I just don't want to be seen as a fraud.
He froze.
I don't believe in switching teams.
He did freeze though. He low-key did freeze. I'm impressed.
True. I don't believe in switching.
No props.
Teams.
Class. That was class.
I have to stay loyal. I have to be with my club through.
I understand.
Right.
Loyalty reasons.
Yeah, loser mentality.
Is that why you're still a fan of Liverpool?
Because it's so.
Tell me about your signings.
It's a lot till I die. That's what it is. I'll be very transparent. This is the first time I've had the what's it called? The thing to say this publicly. I'm a Salah dick rider. That nigga is the only reason why I love Liverpool.
Not Virgil, not Mane. Both of those players were fantastic. Salah though is
Mane is great. Mane was great for us. He's gone now. Salah is the last piece remaining.
Van Dijk there?
Van Dijk, yeah. Aside from Van Dijk.
Allison?
And Henderson, I guess. But like
Allison, not Henderson. Henderson gone too.
Oh, now
Henderson not even there.
But yeah.
Once he leaves,
I'll probably be a free agent. I'll probably be a free agent after that. So but
he's gonna say Nunez is the reason that's why he's staying.
Oh fuck no, not Nunez. No, that bastard. That's I'm not gonna lie. That was the first time that like I got mad over like a soccer match. It's just like seeing this nigga just miss easy. Give it like ooh, I don't even want to start. But yeah, once that happens, I'm gone. To answer the actual hot take, I agree. Like that happens, but most consumers, they don't have the time in their day, the thought process, or are creative enough to sit down and really filter out their own creative, artistic opinions. So because of that, that's why populist opinion is valuable. And I think to discredit that in terms of like, oh, think for yourself. Oh, what? Like, yes, that's fine and dandy and whatnot if you have the time to, or if you have the interest to. But most people who do this are passive consumers. So, like, as well as the fact that, like, okay, how are you going to get mad at someone who thinks similar to everyone else for going off of opinions from everyone else that they think similarly to?
Yep.
Okay, now
like, if you don't have any unique taste, then
okay, I could accept that only if some of those people didn't make the claims that they make. Like, if you're going around making a claim that such and such is the greatest or whatever, and you're going by popular demand, like, why do you think that?
I mean, if they're talking bullshit, then ignore them. That's what I'm saying.
You're
supposed to be the person of more
obviously, if I ask someone a question and they can't answer, obviously, I'm not going to continue, like, thinking I'll just leave it. But, like, if you're making those type of claims, and even though you may go by populist demand, like, their opinions, I can't take you serious because you're just going by what everyone else says. And if you're making these claims, you actually have to have a reason to make these claims.
I think
that's my only thing. If you're just a casual person and you just like anime, and you're like, oh yeah. So I ask you, oh, what's your top 5? And I say, oh, why do you think it's your top 5? And you say, well, I just like the characters and whatnot. I'll just be like, cool, because you haven't made a claim. You just said what you like. Whether I dislike it or not has nothing to do with me because you haven't made a claim for me to challenge you.
Yeah. One thing is, oh yeah, go ahead.
No, that's what I was doing.
I was going to say, like, one thing is, of course, just subjective taste. Like, that you really can't combat, right? Yeah. And everybody has their own preferences and stuff. Like, I mean, I can only speak from my own experiences, but, you know, the thing I just released, the chapter 0 to what I'm writing, the vagueness of it, some people loved. the vagueness of it, some people hate it. You just can't control that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how that's going to be. But if someone, for example, a great example is in Bleach, when people say that what happened in the Ulquiorra fight is an ass pull, that's just not true. Because you can see the series with multiple statements of dialogue says, White Ichigo's like, hey, bro, you die or you're in danger, I'm taking over.
Yeah.
So watch it. Like those are things that objectively happen within a series, right? So that's like if someone was to make the claim that like what would be an easy one? Make the claim that like, oh, it was never stated what the Dragon Balls do. What the fuck? Yet multiple times it gets stated. At that point, there are being opinions that are regurgitated that are just simply not true. But when it comes to subjective taste and like what people think and how they feel about a series, that just, you know, that's for sure just is what it is.
Yeah. And in the case of claims about details and whatnot, correct that, teach that learning moment, invite them to, you know, actually rewatch shit or whatever. Me and TK had a debate conversation recently where it was like, I just had details wrong or misremembered about what was in Hunter x Hunter, like the agency that Gon had, or how early his arc started. Oh, well, the mid arguments.
That didn't have to do with the conversation, but
yeah, that did.
I was just thinking about it.
But yeah, what's it called? But like in that conversation, you know, I'd like to think that my understanding of media is, you know, good enough to not be considered a casual in certain circles. But even in that conversation, it's like, okay, you're wrong on something, bet, go rewatch this shit. Like, just go do whatever. Instead of, you're a fucking normie, shut the fuck up.
I can't argue subjectivity. Let's just say, if someone said FMAB is my top one. If someone said they like the show better than FMAB, cool. I don't care. It's your taste. I'm not gonna expect you to like the same thing that I like. But if you sit here and tell me that like Cyberpunk Edge is better, if you sit here and say Cyberpunk Edge is better, and you make that claim, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna find you.
River just slipped in a flicker jab. Just a quick what? I just a little.
And
TK did not fold, bro. That would have caught me off guard. I'm not gonna lie. That would have.
I know he's doing it to try and get me.
That would have been a drive impact in Street Fighter 6. That should have just fucking stunned me. That shit would have broke my core.
If you like something better than something that I like, cool. I'd be like, yeah, cool, that's fine. But if you say, oh, I dislike FMAB, I'll ask you why. If you say, oh, it just wasn't for you, that's fine. It's your preference. It just wasn't something that you like to enjoy. But if you sit here and say because it's bad, because the characters are bad, you're just wrong. I'm sorry. I can't listen to you. I can't.
Now, I would place my trap card face down and bring up Demon Slayer, but, you know, we don't have the time for that.
Yeah, we go.
Next hot take.
All right. I just don't really agree with this. I've said that before. The Yuffie scene in Code Geass is amazing and one of the best scenes in the series. In my opinion, it's quite odd for Code Geass fans to dislike that scene when it's a big part of the story. Phenomenal scene that you can dive into a lot. Now,
he's talking about the corner? He's talking about the table corner?
No, he's not. No, that's Nina. No.
Where he lit her up and where he said something and then she lit up.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Now listen, correct me if I'm wrong, anyone. If I'm not mistaken, I could have sworn that happened because the series would have ended up. Like, there was nothing else to happen to continue the story. So if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but I could have sworn that was only stated to happen because, like, to continue the series.
It did kind of seem.
It's been a few years since I've seen Code Geass, so I'm trying to remember exactly what scene.
Okay, I can explain that. I just don't want to spoil anything.
Because I thought it was the Nina one as well, and I'm like...
No, when Lelouch jokingly says to Yuffie, oh, it's not like I would tell you to kill everyone, and then his Geass malfunctioned at the right time, and then he gave the command, basically in a joke.
To kill
it was now a command, and she took it and then started killing.
It just seems like out of place, bro. I just don't. I don't know.
I'm sorry, it's a bad scene.
Like, how does that?
I'm sorry.
Like, I don't understand how he's like, oh, you can delve into this so much because seems very simple in the fact of, oh, he made a joke, the Geass worked with the joke, and it happened. Like I mean, I guess we could. People say it's out of character, but Lelouch is admitting defeat here, and he's a sore loser, so he's going, I could have won if I wanted to, which Yuffie replies, you're being silly. So it makes sense for him to double down and say, I can make you do the thing that you would absolutely never do to prove he can do it. I mean, I guess, but like, still.
Anywho,
I mean, I guess you could say that's an example of like hubris, right?
shit's lost.
But,
Yeah,
Just
I still don't particularly like that scene, but I guess I see what he's saying to a degree.
No, stand 10 toes.
I probably
bruh.
need to rewatch.
Stand with me on this
to be
side.
fair.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. But that explanation isn't a bad explanation if you were going to make an explanation. Should the scene happen? No. I agree with you. I am on that side. Firmly. I am not on the fence, but I'm saying if you were going to make an explanation, that is probably the best explanation you could have. Soul Eater has arguably the best world building in all of anime, with one consideration being One Piece.
Nah, because I think you have to put
Made in
something like
Abyss?
Made in Abyss. Yep,
Yeah,
Made in
Mushoku
Abyss
Tensei.
right there.
Mushoku Tensei, Made in Abyss, FMA.
According to RJ,
I
Railgun.
I can't speak.
can't speak on that one. The thing is with Soul Eater has a world that it kind of expands on, but not really. There's like a lot of the actual world of Soul Eater that doesn't, unless you add the context of Fire Force being a prequel, right? So once you add that, then I'm not mad at it. I would argue Soul Eater. Okay, when do we draw the line of aesthetic and world building? If that makes sense. Because the concept, the concept behind Soul Eater's school and all that isn't something completely new. You know, like the way that it goes about all that, right? The aesthetic presentation of it, though, with the Halloween vibe, yeah, that obviously that plays into world building, but it's not like we see, unless I'm misremembering, but we don't see too many areas in Soul Eater, right? Like it all mostly takes place within their city.
Off memory, I think maybe a bit of traveling is done. Cause I do remember seeing they were on a train. I don't remember where they were going though.
Yeah.
But I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the definition of world building, there's a lot of series that like genuinely take that and do it well. Like to an insane standard.
Yeah.
Made in the best One Piece, Mushoku Tensei.
Yeah. I think it's good, but I don't know if I'd put it up there with like One Piece and Made in Abyss, for example. That's where I would draw the line.
Type shit.
I haven't seen
Sounds
it,
like it.
so I believe.
All right. Last one of the day.
Fairy Tales.
Fittingly, Mugen mangakas can't end their stories in satisfying ways. Tokyo Avengers, Demon Slayer, AOT, arguably Machamp, Tenshu JJK are my examples.
I don't think that's fair because a lot of people had an issue with Naruto's ending, Bleach's ending, One Piece is yet to end. A lot of people, I believe, had an issue with the Soul Eater anime's ending. Most people haven't seen the manga. There are so many top series also that just haven't gotten endings from that older generation, like The Gray Man, Hunter x Hunter, and if we go further back, you know, low key Dragon Ball as well. Like, so I don't know if that's entirely fair because, I mean, Chainsaw Man, that's only the ending to Part 1, but Chainsaw Man Part 1 had a great ending. I fuck with Hell's Paradise's ending, but, you know, oh well. Kaguya-sama ended, right?
Yeah.
Kaguya-sama,
The Horizon.
Haikyuu, isn't Haikyuu's ending like super well praised?
Haikyuu's ending is amazing.
Absolutely phenomenal.
So yeah, I think if you like nitpick examples from each generation, you could paint that picture, but I don't think that's completely fair.
Even if you want to say Arjun.
My problem with the generation talk is that, and to be fair, I talk to Cruz about anime frequently, but I don't know when he started watching anime. A lot of the conversations about current gen and this generation or the generation that is quote unquote ending, not only is it, you know, an arbitrary amount of time, like I was arguing with Augie when we did the DreamCon podcast. He was saying that Haikyuu is a completely different generation, or is like an in-between generation instead of being in with what's it called? My Hero, despite
didn't they start a year apart?
They started either a year or 2 years apart, and a majority of both of their runs were with each other in the magazine. Nevertheless, aside from like the arbitrariness of, you know, whatever you're calling a generation, most people, when it comes to consuming art from a previous generation, only consume the top series. So you're only going to consume the best sellers, the most acclaimed, the you know, the ones with the great ending that is remembered, the ones with the great impact that is remembered. But like even something like Toriko's Level, most people haven't seen that. Most people haven't read that. Most people don't know how it ended in 2016.
Like, yeah, that's how I feel about that's why I don't like getting into the whole new gen thing, because whenever people talk about new gen, it's the same 9 series because it's the only 9 series that people have seen.
Like people don't know how Bakuman ended. Like they don't know. So when it comes to those conversations, it's just like always going to be stilted towards whatever you're most involved in, or just the present.
Saying just the mainstream ones that you've consumed. Don't like generalize and say new gen, because there's an ample amount of new gen manga that you haven't read. And obviously not you specific Cardiac, I'm talking to the audience. That like you haven't read, that may have possibly great endings, but you wouldn't know because you haven't like expanded outside of what like the mainstream thing is. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Stick to whatever you want, but don't make it like a generalized statement. I hate when people make generalized statements on they only read like 8 series. The same ones: Boruto, MHA, Black Clover, JJK, Dr. Stone sometimes, thrown in there, Fire Force, and something else. Maybe
like Chainsaw Man?
Chainsaw Man as well, Hell's Paradise. Those are like the main ones. It's like, other than that, I don't see no one else talking about other actual...
Like they're not referring to Phantom Seer.
Yeah.
Granted, Phantom Seer got canceled. Probably a bad example. But like, they're not referring to nothing that's outside like the top 5 of Jump. Is the one standout manga in a monthly magazine or Besasu or however the fuck you say.
Ask any of these people that be gassing up those type of things. Ask if they've read Blue Books. They'd say no. They'll even never.
Even that, like even in Jump, like it's so crazy.
But it's what it is.
All right, man. I guess that ends the hot takes of takes. I think we got through a lot of takes today. So. Yeah, let us know what you thought the worst take was in the comments. There was definitely a good few options, even from us, TK and Mass. But yeah, man, and Cardiac. Sorry, not me, but Cardiac too.
I didn't have any.
The Science Gate. You said the Science Gate thing. That you were involved in Science Gate. You agreed.
That was someone. Yeah, I agree.
Well, and the Pluto. You said the Pluto take.
Yeah,
no, the
Pluto one was
you did say the Pluto take.
Pluto one was
but even then, listen. Y'all never disagree with the Pluto take. Y'all just said it was good. I said it was boring. Boring isn't.
It's not boring.
It's not boring though.
Listen, bro. There's very few things I will call art. Pluto is art. Pluto is
fire.
Pluto. If you could have pieces of animation, if you could put anime in like the Louvre, in like a museum, I would have Pluto right there.
Kind of real.
Right there. Right there.
I'm sure it deserves it.
Right. But I don't give a fuck.
I don't care. That bitch slow as fuck. They talking.
All right, man. Well. On that note, thanks again to Max for coming on today. We talked for a while, so I appreciate you, being here the whole time and shit. We had a good convo and everything. Yeah.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.
No, of course. And definitely, if you haven't for some reason seen Matt's channel, make sure to tap in. That'll be linked in the title, etc. So go over there, follow the content, good content over there for sure. And yeah, man, like, subscribe if you tap into the Twitch. We'll be streaming here if you wanted to see our shenanigans before the pod started, because yes, we've been talking for like 4 hours. But it's yappers. We got the yapper conglomerate here today.
Yeah, bro. I don't even.
No, you good. I'm not complaining.
TK, you doing what?
I didn't even talk that much. I'm like silent off. I'm so shy. I'm very shy, bro. I'm shy. I'm reserved. I'm shy and reserved, man.
Okay, buddy. But yeah, man, do all that, and we're trying to. I don't even think we did 50 followers on Twitch. We still got to do that because we're trying to actually be able to do whatever the thing is called. Is it affiliate? I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, affiliate. Yeah.
Is that the first one? Okay, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's all from us. Thank you all for watching. As always, if anyone has any final words to say, fuck soccer.
Go read Haikyuu.
Shit.
Also, hold on.
Wait, read. Oh my gosh. Read Devoro too. Yeah, type shit.
Appreciate it.
Yes. Oh my god, go read that. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I haven't tapped in yet.
Amazing opening chapter.
Yeah,
I haven't tapped in yet. Where do I read that?
You could go to Manga Dex. We have it on Manga Dex now, or Bato.to, whichever one you prefer.
I bet.
Say less. All right, man. Thank y'all for tuning in, man.
Peace
Love
out,
you
y'all.
guys. Flow out. Peace.